All right. Okay, so I guess we can get started now. If any of you don't know me, I'm William. I'm the editor-in-chief of Misery Tourism, and this is our first Misery Loves Company reading thing. Just very quickly before we begin, I only ask that people mute their mics while someone's reading. Just because even if you're being quiet, it's very easy for there to be background noise or something to interrupt, that could interrupt the person who's reading. I'm not going to be a real stickler to that. I want this to be kind of a laid back, kind of just fun, silly thing, but it would be good if somebody else is talking, if somebody else is reading, if you could just mute your mic. The way that tonight's kind of going to be structured is we have 6 people here right now who have signed up to read for tonight. Oh, wow, I've got a bunch of people who are joining the room as we speak. We have 6 people who have signed up to read for tonight. We had 2 people who signed up who have been moved to later night because things came up in their personal life and so on. So I'll kind of turn it over to each of the readers in turn, and then after they read, you guys can have a chance to ask them any questions or to talk about their work for a little bit if you want. And then once the 6 readers have read, we're going to have an open mic period of about an hour. During that time, when we open up the mic, I'll talk a little bit more about the procedure then, but basically just say in the chat, hey, I want to read. And Rudy, Misery Tourism co-owner and editor Rudy, are you here?
Yep.
Rudy will be monitoring the chat and he'll let me know who's next up to read.
Edgy Paula Dean.
Yeah, Edgy Paula Dean.
Also, I can match you, William, right now, kind of.
Really?
Almost. I mean, not really. Try.
So, yeah, so we'll just at that point go for about an hour with the open mic readings. If you don't get a chance to read today, just shoot me a DM on Twitter. We can schedule you for next week. I want this to be a weekly thing. Hey.
I need my link though, because I don't have it on me. Do you have it?
So you need the link to the piece you're going to read?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm just about to put it in the chat. Anyway, just 1 second. I have to.
Right, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to rush you.
Oh, no. I'm just in the process of putting it in there. I was actually just copying the link. So Eris is up next, and I think the piece you're going to be reading is called Fake Hand, right?
I'm sorry, what?
The piece you're going to be reading is called Fake Hand?
Yes, and it's, my dad has read it, and his name is James, and I did not think about that before sending it to him.
Well, take it away.
All right. Oh, okay. They've just fucked twice, and Pete is smiling, sex stupid and sleepy, face buried in a mess of blankets and pillows and sheets, and Jim is running his fingers through his hair, and it's been a while longer than he thought since it's like smudgy. Okay. Blonde is handled wrong one, looks like, because there's over a solid inch of burnt red to work with. Jim says, since he's been meaning to for a few weeks or so anyway, we should get a place together. Pete turns his head to bite at Jim's wrist, whole mouth coming open, teeth clamping down hard like a dog or a wolf or a coyote or some shit. It's typical Peter Pan. Jim ignores it. By the way, if I talk too fast, will you guys tell me to slow the fuck down, please? Thank you. Big place, nice natural light, like windows, wood floors, whatever you want. You can pick. The teeth sink in deeper. Jim was not aware that deeper was possible. You can paint the walls. His wrist hurts like a motherfucker. All of them? Pete asked, sounding curious, but also sounding kind of fucked out. They went again after the second time, which, wow, Jim is not fucking telling the doctor about that. There's horny, which makes sense all of the time, except for the time when your hand is perilously half connected to the rest of your body, and there's no way to say I was pretty much forced into fucking this guy because he had my hand held hostage. Do you know how much pain I am right now? Because I am in pain without the cops being called. Jim is not very happy with Pete right now, but he is always very opposed to the cops being called. After the third round, can you let him? Oh, God, don't read behind me. Okay. After the third round, Pete napped and then got out of bed for a shower, then Googled some stuff, and then called a few people who he said were not actual doctors, but were for sure at least pre-med. And then they had both silently sat around the apartment for a half an hour, trying to understand how neither of them had a doctor on their payroll. And then suddenly Pete had demanded, "Did you know that humans can bite with 120 pounds of pressure?" James Newlick fact, that is how much he weighed in one of his books. Okay. To which Jim had snarked, "Peter, you don't even weigh 120 pounds. And also, hyenas can bite harder than, like, everyone. They can bite harder than sharks." And then, oh shit though, crocodiles do not fuck around. And then, finally, warily glancing at Jim over the top of his douchebag designer sunglasses, indoors at 3 in the morning, what the actual fuck? This article says that human bites can pass over infections, and I don't know, I don't feel infectious, but I guess we should take you to USC. So whatever, they're waiting to see someone at the ER at USC because they've been saving USC for their real names for the past, like, 8 years on account of the one semester Pete attended on full scholarship when he was 17. Did I hear someone, or was that from outside?
You're good.
Okay. Pete has 2 cell phones out, texting like a lunatic. If penis envy is anything like hand envy, Jim can now understand everything he's ever read on Freud a hell of a lot more. Which reminds me of Thomas More's Alone book. Okay. Pete is texting with both hands on 2 phones and also occasionally sipping at a dirty chai latte, and Jim can actually not even feel his right hand. Like, if he could not see it, Jim would not know that it existed. If Jim were not left-handed, he would be fucking furious right now. Instead, he's just mildly uncomfortable nursing a vanilla bean frappuccino from Starbucks because they have drive-through windows for a reason, James, and that reason is called right now. All of what? Jim demands furiously, just as someone calls out, "James Hook," the doctor calls out. Jim stands and takes a few steps, but Pete eyes the guy warily, not rushing to get up or anything, just looking like maybe he's about to ask if they get a girl instead. The guy is like half Pete's size though, so probably, unless he is like super skilled at Krav Maga, Jim could take him one-handed if he had to. Well, whatever. If there's a fight, he really only has the one hand. Fucking Peter Pan. That's gonna be on his death certificate. Cause of death. Fucking Peter Pan. Is fucking a verb here? Pete's like, still sitting. Jim hadn't realized he'd said that aloud. No, yeah, you totally did. Still sitting, totally casual. Jim can't feel his hand. The frappuccino green, mushy, icy mess less than an inch from Pete's boots. The look on his face says, "I do realize that that is there, but I hope you realize that cleaning it up is not my job." People are definitely looking at him like he should be cleaning it, or at least finding someone else to do it. Don't they get that this is standard operating procedure for Pete? Pete doesn't even do laundry. He literally just buys new clothes, or asks for, like, people to send him shirts. All what? Oh, the walls. I can pick all of them, right? If Jim is about to get fucking amputated because Peter Pan wanted to paint all the walls of his apartment black like some stupid emo goth fag or some shit, I can say that, by the way, I'm gay. Jim is actually going to fuck his shit up. Like, no joke. Jim might actually kill Pete over this, he doesn't know. It probably depends on it if he has to do it one-handed. "We're just gonna lie you down, honey," a nurse is saying when Jim passes out. "Well, it was smart of your boyfriend to get you in here so fast," the doctor informs him cheerfully when Jim wakes up. Jim thinks that somewhere in the greater LA area, probably outside of a coffee bean and tea leaf, or more likely an Earth, or possibly an intelligentsia, Pete is cackling like a wild thing. "Was it? You could have lost the whole arm, son." "What?" I said, "No, okay, fuck you. I heard what you fucking said, and I want you to know right now before you go any further that you have the shittest bedside manner ever." Jim has actually been fucking amputated because Peter Pan wanted to paint all the walls red. Red. Jim now has choices. His choices are A, freak with no hand, B, prosthetic, C, weird metal thing. Pete seems to be voting for weird metal thing. He keeps exclaiming totally out of nowhere, like, you could be James Hook! With an actual hook, though, Jim. An actual hook. You shouldn't laugh, because this is like your thumb.
I know.
Okay. Jim thinks maybe Pete is experiencing guilt for the first time, and it's freaking him out or something. He uses his good/only hand to pat Pete on the shoulder consolingly. And yes, if you do have some thumb splint recommendations, please send them our way. Anyway, he makes it through 4 whole days of hospital food and an ugly stuffed alligator named Jamie from the fucking Build-A-Bear at Westside Pavilion. They didn't have hyenas or crocodiles. They had a stingray, but only one. And this girl looked like she really wanted it. And you fucking know I wouldn't usually let that stop me, but I don't know. I thought her dad was gonna like punch me in the face, and I hadn't even gotten an Earl Grey latte yet, so I just wasn't feeling it. Yeah, I named him Jamie for you. And a super contraband blueberry pie from Dupar's and telenovelas that Pete helpfully translates for him. Because, like, apparently, of the two of them, Jim is somehow now the one who actually does not speak fluent fucking Portuguese. The fuck even. Jim is a veritable master of Romance languages, before whatever guilt Pete might be going through seems to dissipate, because when visiting hours end on day 4, he snarls, I am not coming here again, unless it is to pick you up because you are being discharged, just so you know, as he walks out. Jim sighs and waits 10 minutes to be sure that Pete isn't lurking before he calls for the nurse, for the doctor, for the nurse. That takes like 3 hours because it's a teaching hospital, and they have more than enough patients to tend to, and Jim hasn't been throwing money around or anything, so they think he's not a priority. This is a mistake. Jim is a fucking priority. God. He is so getting his doctor on call after all this shit is over. It takes like 3 hours before Jim says, just get me a fucking fake hand already. Okay.
That was
Oh
awesome.
man, that was great.
That was good.
That was really
Particularly the
good.
end.
I love the
Thank you.
voice
I
acting,
didn't see my
or
voice at all.
acting, quote unquote, really good. Like the way you spoke was like just, it really felt like you were speaking through the
Valley
character.
Girl? It's 'cause I am.
No,
Well,
the
thank you. That means
dialogue
so much,
was
especially
fantastic too, and like very
It was, yeah.
naturalistic. You know, it
Yeah, yeah.
really
crazy because you
felt
guys know I never talk to
conversational.
people.
I was not
Yeah.
prepared for the Jim Hook line.
Yeah.
Oh, and there was enough foreshadowing that I should have been, but it caught me by surprise, and I'm still just smiling because of it.
Oh, I wrote like some fucked up fairy tales, and like I really like the other one on Expat that I have, the Red Riding Hood one, like, and there's also a longer Peter Pan one on Tragical.
Cool.
Did you do like a Greek gods one too, or am I making
Like Persephone's like, oh my god, I'm fine.
Yeah, they're like in an IRC chat room or something.
I read that.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh yeah, I read that one. That one was awesome.
That one honestly is like 10 years old. Don't tell Manuel that. Hi, Manuel.
Hey, yeah, I've said a lot of good things about Lizzy. Yeah, you're a Terminator. She has lots of writing.
Oh god,
I
yeah.
can't wait for all of you to read it.
Sure, I'll read the thing that got let's see. Sucking dick as a tag on Misery Tourism.
Oh man.
Which-
All right then.
That's a prestigious.
Honestly, I did not expect this to get accepted, and so thank you.
Yeah, no, it blew Rudy and I away. No pun
Yeah.
intended, you know.
And also, thank you for putting it as fiction. Okay.
Oh, yeah. That was one of our favorite pieces to illustrate.
Oh my god, yes, I'm like, I would get it tattooed, but then you said I would be an influencer, and then I was like, oh my god, no. Okay, so several pictures she sent me before she died were of her sucking Drew's dick while making a funny, insane face. I do have these, by the way, and they haunt me. I remember right after I knew she had died, I was looking at a picture of her sucking a dick, and I looked into her eyes, and I felt something, and I just sobbed. Last night, I went to go fuck Ryan, and it was weird. That was the bed I broke up with Mila in while I was in it. That was the bed we had a threesome in. That was the bed I almost OD'd on, but Mila gave me some activated charcoal. I went to go fuck Ryan and get some blow, and it was fun at first, whatever. But then he mentioned dead porn stars, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So that makes more sense if you know that Mila is my dead ex that was a porn star.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
No, I think that piece really like captures something honest about like the grieving process. I think we have a tendency to like romanticize what it means to be suffering from grief and what loss means, and instead a lot of it is chasing an escape from that feeling, you know?
Yeah, no, honestly, yeah. Thank you so much, because it's completely unedited, just stream of consciousness, but I really appreciate that you, but think that's awesome. Thank you. Okay, so this is terrible. I can't top that. I can't talk in general. But anyway, okay. So big male. Wait, should I introduce what this actually is?
Eris is gonna read one of mine because I think she asked me to, so I think it would, and she would be perfect to read this particular one. I feel so.
Oh man, holy shit! Which one is it?
It's the one I wrote yesterday, Big Male.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh goodness, this is turning into a weird night, and I like it.
Can I mispronounce something? Someone raised their hand. Don't correct me. I just want to know. And I forgot what else. Okay. Big male, huge, getting bigger, harder, faster, stronger. Doing the robot, Wrangler jeaned American, Eastern Europe somewhere, Eastern Front, ride a tank, in and out of Stalingrad. Grab a boy, turn him ancient, hard. Come with me and swing your first axe. Axe of enormity, axe of evil. Paul's goddamn mustache. How do you say that? Paul's.
I think it's Paul Sega, but either
Paul
way,
Sega's
you're doing awesome.
Trim the grass, trees, tote saws with caps or not, because this lumber needs to cross that icy road. Chickens don't get to the other side. Barnyard rules. World's an aviary. I love that. And here stands the rooster in chief, massive masculine bravado, henpecked, but only for electroman. What the fuck does that mean?
Oh, that's divination by chicken, actually. Oh, I think it's electriomancy, I believe.
That's amazing. I'm gonna copy and paste this so everyone can read how beautiful. Wait, I can.
I thought it was a jaunty word. I really like that word.
Fuck yeah, it's awesome. I can't copy and paste it. I need to do. Wow, it's amazing. Words on this body are seeds that plant ideas about threatening intent. Test it, comma, get bested, period. Peace held by between steady legs, steady aim. Diazepam for the John Money shot, right between the eyes of a probable or wishful dyke. Putting her in her place, hold steady, hold hands, going steady, head to homestead or home guard. Flock Heffler, guys, and circumstances. Bleed together, and once more, once upon a time, the alchemy minigame that transforms cursed resources into gold. Star Mothers is turning young faggots into young men, without the quotes, since the best poets bite a muzzle off to the right of Flanders Fields. Left of Ned Flanders, center of attention for fleeting but tender moments of flare lit. Mud-caked passion to fly in the face of the panicking stork union, which says racy thoughts nightly trying to avoid layoffs. First, burlesque bodies barely visible through dream fog. Some could be blokes. Then a blurry peep show, again obscured. No faces. than a barrage of fetish Hail Marys that have resulted in nocturnal emissions. The fantasy of humiliation via white feather, presented by a busty black suffragette. As an example, squirt. But in waking hours, boys will be boys, and nothing done in a combat zone is ever gay, though some of it is definitely queer. Hand on some kind of bulge, I'll get this picture home to your girl. Grunt. Along with the meat, distilled hunter-gatherer instincts, wild or wilder, two beasts eloping under shells or cave drawings of fecund buffalo flags, stalagmites, Stallone, stalag, death rattles rousing or rousing, the clueless home front. If Fuigan also died, summon Thaddeus, because the grinder won't stop asking for more until robust reinforcements rain from the sky, a hailstorm. Weather girls say hallelujah for full saturation. Absolutely soaked. Absolutely soaked. However, duty isn't going to cut it anymore. We need super duty. 4x4s rolling over weepy ground, more inwardly willing draftees that just need an ass slap from coach. Conscripts fall in the selective abyss. Here, long straight lines form semi-coherently to suggest depth. God, this is good. Everyone should go buy his book, by the way. It's really good. A skin and bone underdog, homeward bound for the dandy life tripping. I have dry mouth. Hold on. I'm sorry. Ugh. So amazing. I can't believe you wrote this yesterday.
Oh yeah, it was like yesterday and night before.
Yeah. I'm so professional. Sorry. A skin and bone underdog, homeward bound for the dandy life, tripping, morphin dripping, missing limbs, having kicked the Kaiser. But not an opiate dependency, expensive stotting behavior, tightrope walking in a muscle shirt, pecs. Syndrome, short men with a short fuse. George started a discourse about who cut off the legs and why. Gentlemen need a hobby, and archaeology is a favorite among those who disturb graves and punch Germans. So now it's Jordan crossing Niles, or denials of elephants. I love that, oh my god. Scenic locale for a boner, she is looking thick. Judgment and water laps gently, down on one knee. If one can be found to confluence, fording the damn thing is damn near impossible, but holding my beer, lose. One set of clothing, inhibitions, 8 oxen. But there's no time to mourn, grandpappies, or the greats with primal urges. Somewhere Sheena Easton is playing, banshee and siren mixed up in your jumbled inner speech, foreshadowing an infinitely long morning train ride. Buttes as far as you can see, you fucking cowboy. Dry gulch, but wet dreams as a fish this big. Damn, that was amazing. While tales of Arabs with overstated missile fetishes dominate your commuter radio. Hairy, boisterous dudes slicked down with ill-gotten inky loot, catcalling women in tongues, flexing, posing, reflexing. Watch white help black euthanize white's ambitions, mate in 3 or 10 or 17 or never. These ruddy lads, as on-demand boogeyman, keep your blood flowing. They're exhaling thick cigar smoke into your mind's eye. Hard blink and you see here red. How cool would it be to be ruler or even ruler holder in Somaliland or any other sultry place where Westerners go to measure dicks and stay one step ahead of the breadlines while your golden brown bastards ride camels or something? This is fantasy, and boy, does it get your Christopher Robin rockin' and poking through the unzipped front of your twice-split Dockers pants, decorated veterans of the Dad Bod Wars, whilst you feign obliviousness to other passengers. Oh, bother. Imagining your white man's burden is as plausibly deniable as the priest in The Little Mermaid. Oh my god. A teenage girl's face telegraphs, yuck. You fist pump mentally. You should have worked in genetics since you seemingly hate people and love flies. Brain awash in cream color, you visualize an increasingly diverse Disney princess lineup, a rainbow viewed through the prism of morningwood. Hot flash forward. This is you, dans la maison. Tonight, with your aging high school sweetheart, 2 cats in the yard, unkempt kids running amok. I love all the K's in that. Contrasting that with a muscle-bound Aryan barbarian, one hand on his manhood, the other reining in a horse, or fuck, even Howard sitting in his truck, one hand on his forehead, the other on his colt. You slump hard against the sunken-in seatback sighing. If masculinity is a performance, you feel like Tim Allen, tepidly accepting a Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award. Too bad the known world ends if you're 30 minutes late for work. Holy motherfucking shit.
Oh, damn, Eris. Wow.
How was I allowed to
You
read
killed that. You killed it.
God
You
damn.
killed it.
Damn. Beautiful.
Thank you so much for reading that. That really, I'm honored.
Anytime. You just have to know that I'll interrupt and drink lemonade.
No, that was awesome. That was great.
That was amazing, and the ending. God, if you like, there's no better feeling than ending a poem perfectly, and you did that, and it's like, yes. I had so much fun reading that. I'm not even on drugs.
You hear, Eris?
Hello.
There you are.
I didn't hear anything you said. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Okay, so Adrian is thinking about what's real or not. Was she that much of a basic bitch to say she wanted to wear a dress from Goodwill with her Doc Martens for her wedding, or was it something she copied from a movie or book she can't remember? Or not even a movie, but a fucking starter pack meme. So like, hey, he says, Adrian is a bitch with no patience. What? She's high, cocaine and Adderall and Diet Mountain Dew. Maybe a bad combination, but whatever. She doesn't care. She has shit to do and like no time to do it in, so this makes sense. And why are strangers talking to her in the middle of the grocery store if she doesn't get the shopping done before her mother gets home? The bitch is going to be pissed and she's going to, whatever, scream, and it'll be a whole ordeal. Adrian would rather avoid all that if she can. Things she'd rather not avoid. Pop-Tarts. Should she get brown sugar cinnamon or strawberry milkshake? Decisions. And she barely hears him as he stutters out. So, like, do you have a boyfriend? I don't fuck boys who have speech impediments, sorry, she says. And she's pretty sure she doesn't sound sorry at all, but that's okay because she isn't sorry at all. Coke has that effect on her. Words are hard is also probably going to be, oh, there's something in the chat. Brown sugar, yes, totally. Words are hard is also probably going to be the last thing she ever says anyways. She can't talk sometimes. She disassociates and just can't talk. It's a Cancer Mars thing. She doesn't want to know what has that effect on her because ignorance is bliss. That is a Pisces thing. Charlie, one of her sisters, is waiting on the front steps when she gets home. She's younger than Adrian and from her mom's third marriage to a pathetic waste of a man, but like whatever, if that's the kind of man her mother likes, she's not going to judge. Well, she is, but she'll do it quietly. No one wants to be dying alone. Charlie is texting fucking rapid fire, even as she stands up and adjusts her school bag and waits for Adrian to unlock the door. Is there a fire somewhere or what? Oh god, did Betsy Johnson burn down? Worse, Fred Siegel? Fuck you, Charlie says, practically singing. Strange for her. Charlie only ever talks to Adrian in a monotone. Maybe she's getting sick. Don't cough on me. What? Charlie says, scrunching up her face like she doesn't get it. She doesn't get anything. She's 14. You're 14. Charlie blinks at her a few times before flipping her scarf dramatically over her shoulder and prancing up the staircase. I just talked to your sister, her mother informs her, as soon as she walks in the front door. She says he's worried about you. Fuck her, she goes to art school. She knows that comes out a lot like art school isn't real school, but it comes out like that solely because art school isn't real school, and so her sister can just shut the fuck up with her finger paints and her fucking, like, watercolors. By the way, I live with someone who goes to art school. She's awesome. Anyway. No, I mean Charlotte. Oh, Adrian mumbles, sucking a bit of red sauce off of her finger. Fuck her, she's 14. Don't say fuck in my house, what is that? Patanesca. I probably said that wrong. It's classy, it's like pasta and shit. Addie. Adrian, she corrects. It's so stupid when her mother gets her name wrong. And vaguely insulting, like if the woman wanted to call her Addie, she should have fucking thought of that when they were making her birth certificate. There's a party tomorrow, and I have to go, Charlie says, halfway through her fucking meal that I can't pronounce. Maybe, their mom says, which is weird, because she would usually be like, how about no? What are you, like, delusional? You are not going anywhere ever, because I want you to be miserable, or whatever. That's the way Adrian always ends up hearing it. But Arthur's having a party, and I have to go. The fuck is Arthur? Aaron! Who? She mouths at Charlie because she is nothing if not persistent. He is like the hottest guy. His dad only owns like everything in the world ever. They're like royalty, Addie. God, we've been talking about this for 20 minutes. That's a lie. That is the biggest lie Adrian has ever heard. That lie is bigger than, I'll totally pull out before I come. No, you haven't. Yes, we have. Their mother agrees, and now they're both staring at Adrian like she's some sort of delusional freak, but she isn't. Jesus fuck. She's just high. She goes to the party to chaperone, like her life is somehow now that Heath Ledger movie based on that Hamlet Shakespeare play, or whatever the fuck it was. Hamlet or something. She goes to the party, and there's a lot of cheap alcohol and a lot of boring people from her old high school. And she goes into the pantry and steals a box of Cookie Crisp and takes it to the roof to sit and eat and occasionally throw little cookies at kids' heads when they get too rambunctious. I have phlegm. No. Okay, hi. Yeah. All of their parents had better send her serious thank you cards for this shit. So many babies could be conceived right now if it weren't for her efforts. So many. She sees the guy from the store, boy with a stutter in his mouth, and he's got a whole gaggle of girls around him, and she scowls and is about to throw cereal at him, but she doesn't think it'll have too much of an effect. Adrian scowls thoughtfully before slipping off one of her Doc Martens and throwing it hard at his head. Rudy, will you read the rest of it?
Oh no.
Rudy, you're on the spot, man.
Oh boy.
It starts at, it would be actually really cool and punky.
Okay, well I'll do my best here.
Oh my god, thank you. I was dying. Yay.
It would actually be really cool and punky and hardcore, but she kind of runs the fuck away super quick, so whatever, it's fine. It's not like anyone knows about it. Someone totally threw a shoe at Arthur Eldritch's head, Charlie says when Adrian drives her to the school the next day. Like a heavy one too. They had to take him to the ER. What even? I didn't throw it that hard, Adrian says immediately, and by the time she's realized her tragic mistake, Charlie's already out of the car and talking to all her friends. Fuck, shit, Jesus. Her mom screams at her and tells her to apologize. She tells her that she found out about it on Facebook. Adrian asks in her most serious voice why her mother has a Facebook, and even though she knows it's for meeting men, because it's funny to watch her and her mother get angry. She's at her dealer's place waiting for him to find her fucking coat, because apparently he hid it all away when the mice in his apartment started talking to him. For fuck's sake, she needs a new dealer. She especially needs a dealer when Arthur fucking Aldrich walks in and starts talking about Vicodin, lots of Vicodin, like the kind that'll knock out a 30-year-old narcotic-addicted prostitute from Vegas, so she sneers. What? They didn't prescribe you anything at the hospital? Oh, her dealer says, shaking his head, lifting one of the cushions on his sofa. No, 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 he's selling to me. Adrian just stares. It's true I am, Arthur, who doesn't have a stutter, says. You're not stuttering. Well, I'm not going through withdrawal, am I? He says, kind of like he's a total bastard, but at least he knows it. He's actually quite good looking now that she thinks about it. You're kind of attractive. He grins at her, kind of sideways but charming. His front teeth are crooked. Do you want your shoe back? It's at my house, in my bedroom.
Thank you, you're amazing.
Thank you, Eris, and thank you, Rudy.
Yay! Also,
Yeah.
like, thank you so much, because that means you had to have it open and actually be paying attention. This is amazing.
Like, I love your stories because they all feel like they're part of the same like world, if that makes any sense. I mean, it's like
No,
this
it totally
weird...
does, because I never leave my room.
Yeah. So sorry about that, Eris. It's
No, don't be sorry.
Back
I
to
love
you.
Jane. Oh my god. And also, I don't care about things like, hi, hello. Okay. So I wrote this one thing about Corey's hair one time because I'm a creep, and I'm gonna read it. Need to find it. All right. Vibing. 7th of March 2020. And this was inspired by his tweet where he said, my friend told me everyone in high school thought I was going to kill myself. LMAO, and just vibing. Bruh, what's got you so down? Dumbass Deborah asks, not even looking at anything but a wall with a black felt poster colored with glow in the dark markers. You know, the kind of psychedelic stuff that people who listen to a lot of APC and Tool have, or at least when they're teenagers. Corey takes off his headphones in one beat. His Thrasher hoodie smells good, like him, not soap. There is nothing sexy about smelling like someone had to be sanitized. God, this is so creepy. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I want your sweat. I want to smell the cigarettes you smoked while thinking of me. Of course you think of me. Your hair is long and thick, and I bury my head in it while I lean against your shoulder, and I breathe your scent in like I'm trying to take in the biggest hit. I exhale only when my lungs make me. I exhale and am high off of you being real. This is how I center myself. I am a Buddhist. This is meditation. I keep the hair, Owen. It's like 8 hair and then Owen. Okay. Joke that floats in my head to myself for about 2 seconds and then say it, laughing about how awful of a joke it is. You tried to switch to vaping, but every time you vaped, I brought up Twin Peaks. You get off the beanbag chair and your voice is booming. The voice of an introvert interrupted at his vibing. For fuck's sake, Deborah, I am vibing. Go back to looking at your... Now it's me that yells at your completely inaccurate co-star app. God, I sit down and exhale. The nerve of some people. Oh no, Tool call out? No, I love people who love Tool.
No, I was just kidding, but yeah, Tool is awesome.
That was great. As usual, Eris.
It got her to leave the room.
You still having little interpersonal issues there?
Oh, you know me. Of course I am. And then, do you guys want... I want to read one more thing. It's either
Sure,
Memoir of a Form of Time Travel from 2011 or something I read from here. The book pretty short.
I don't know, guys. What do you think?
Time travel sounds awesome to me.
All right. Presidents had long learned how to time travel. Come on, Bush. That fucking election, you know it. All those crazy mix-up, the way he jumbled his words. Too much time travel. I'm not vibing with that. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, where's my page? Corey, you have something really good in this too, huh? Someone can read while I look for the page, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I think we're good. Although I will say, who's up next? Is Brandon up next?
Yeah, I think B-Boy is next.
And do we have anyone who's signed up after Brandon?
I don't believe so.
No.
Oh, did you find it, Eris?
No, I found Corey's. Oh god. Okay.
So if anyone else does want to read after Brandon, you can just drop it in the chat then.
Or right now while I take forever. Oh, okay. Dear God. Okay. Choked at the end of our chains. This friendship isn't beautiful, but it is a great place to get lost. Reckless racing down a ravine littered with broken glass and the splintered wood of bridges that refused to burn no matter how much kerosene we invested in. Our bodies snuffed the matches out, never quite committing to resolute ash. Or maybe people like us were just incapable of being destroyed. If it was never enough, not for us. We hoped we could just burn on forever until the stars all died and darkness thickens like our breathing did when it was just the two of us in the back seat of a car that felt universes away from the bars of the grit that we crawled out of. She is my best friend because her parents were the kind of second-generation hippies that thought naming their daughter Blue Sky made for an automatic leap in character. Maybe they were right, because I've never met anyone else with that name, or anyone else like her. I love her completely, more than parties or clubs, more than my brothers or sisters, more than all of the books that we share on our shelves. I love her because of the mess she is, the mess she makes, the messes she makes. She's the best and the worst person I've ever met. Sometimes I can't tell her if I want to kill her, travel the world with her, or just get drunk in her bed. I love her because she had the same look on her face as I did when that tequila-fueled circus performer of a friend of ours ate light bulbs without batting an eye in our stolen canoe. I love that she's willing to beat me senseless with beach debris to get me out of going to work. I love that we gave a piece of taxidermy we rescued from the side of the road an honorary medical degree. I love the fact that we shudder and snicker simultaneously at the mere mention of old lovers. I love that she let me decorate her roof with stolen wildflowers and drove me to the hospital when I fell off the side. That I found her more than once on the roof of a grocery store or on the tracks of a train with mascara-covered cheeks and whiskey breath. I love her. Most nights we fall asleep in the car. We crank the seats all the way back and run the battery down to its volts while we leave the radio on. We came up with the next great plan, the next great foray into conjoined madness. We author children's books about semi-absorbed twins, and we wonder aloud about the much-needed existence of serial killers anonymous meetings. We fall asleep like that, fingers entwined, choked at the end of our chains. And El Nash really helped me with that. So, yeah.
I love how melancholy that is. It's so, like, in a way, very unlike the rest of your writing, but I think you really capture, I mean, it was still, like, your writing in general is pretty hilarious most of the time, and that was still a very funny piece, but it was really, like, it was sad in a way that I think a lot of your writing isn't, and that really, really caught me.
Wow. You did the best feedback. Thank you. Because I have no self-awareness about how, yeah. Thank you.
Eris, I think you're up next, and you're going to read something from a zine. That's all I've been told so far. I'll turn it over to you.
This is the last one of a zine I made in 2000 and 12 or 11. Like, it's really old. Like, and it's the last copy, and it's just like it looks like shit. And anyway, okay. Like, it even has like the 92nd Street Sweetheart thing as a.
Oh wow! So is this something that you put together yourself and kind of distributed a while ago, or?
Oh, I mean, yeah, like a decade ago, you know.
Wow! Holy shit! Okay.
So just keeping that in mind, though, when I read this, that it's old, so it might suck. Okay. Memoir of a former time traveler. The presidents had long learned how to time travel. Come on, Bush? That fucking election? This was way before Trump. God, you know it. All those crazy mix-ups, the way he jumbled his words. Too much time travel. Fucks you up worse than dope. Worst thing is, nobody believes you. They're not allowed to. National security. You figure it out. You know those days where everyone you know is tired, fucking fatigued, counting the seconds on the clock, can barely keep their own head on straight? It just gotta be something in the air. The way everybody's hauling ass to the office coffee pot or taking shots of espresso, stacking 5-hour energy shots on the counter like trophies of Olympian glory. Shit. Like you don't crush even harder, leaving you more desperate for something even vaguely resembling motivation to finish that piece of shit paper. Yeah, it ain't nothing in the air that punches you in the gut. Ain't the chemtrails those bitches keep going on about that make you feel that way. It's time travel. Fucking wears out the nation, makes politicians wet brain, but oh, it's better than anything. Let me tell you, I don't give a fuck about the alphabet. I don't know what I meant by that, but I think it's a great sentence. Okay. I just love messing with bitches from the past. They look at me like a freaking god. Either awe or fear. A bit of both on my good days. Sometimes I dress up like somebody who got lynched the day before. Somebody who made it to the papers in that fucked up front page way. Collective, sadistic as shit. I felt good about that, alright. But the best, oh, the fucking best, is to say who accused whom of witchcraft. Someone should later tell me if that was who or whom. Go to their house, and then to tell them their god is on the other line of my cell phone. If I don't freak them out with a fucking Furby next to their bed first. And you wonder about the recluses. They had a reason to stay indoors. Past is great. Get the right money and you can live for years. Fucking love inflation. Get a jukebox and a Ford 1949. Roller skate waitresses and sweethearts for real. Not too good to eat the meat from a real while back though, and you gotta be careful with the laudanum. And in the fucking ice cream parlor, no less. Too many cranked out housewives too. I wish I could have shaken them loose and bottom to burn their bras and join the movement, but I gotta let them get angry enough to do it first. Gloria Steinem, she was nothing compared to the girls I could have taken to my time. The revolution would have been made with girls with finger curls. They wouldn't have had to take half of the shit they did. Of course, whenever I got drugs, I tried to see what fucked up artists I could patron. Charles Baudelaire was out of my league because of the French, but Edgar, my love, was brilliant. Brilliant. Don't know what he saw in that little bitch, though. About my jokes. The past is great. Just be careful. Have fun. No one ever goes to the future anymore. We've all had our fun going to 2012 just to say we did. But nobody ever goes to the future now. Not since poor FDR. The poor bastard never came back after an impulse trip to 3016. 3016? Yeah, okay. Jesus. Made a bet with the UN about the water supply. Never found out about the fluoride/acid reinsurance. But man, fucking 3016? We can only wonder what the fuck that was like. Yeah. Okay.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
What a great thing under the circumstances. So I think we'll move on. Rudy, Eris, or you were up next, I think? Oh, Eris, your mic is muted.
I would love to. Please stop moving. Yeah, I'm here. Okay.
Okay.
My bad. It's fine. Everyone loves you. Okay. All right. So I want to read Joyride because I'll tell you why after. Why am I wearing this stupid? No, I'm not. Okay. Cool. Okay. Out of curiosity, what is this? I'm gonna be a narcissist. What story do you know me most for, if you know me at all?
What
Well, you're a
story?
writer.
Oh,
Totally.
sorry.
What? No, I don't need you to know me. That's great. Honestly. Truly. Okay. So Joyride by me. Okay. Fun fact, JKC thought of the title because I hate thinking of titles. Okay. Kimberly screams into my ear with all the loudness. How's my mic? Or nah? Hello? Did everyone die?
Sound good to me.
Okay, cool. Screams into my ear with all the loudness of her voice tuned to the frequency of my cell phone. Fuck your plans, I can't be alone right now. Her sentences are punctuated by the sound of her snorting lines. We're 16 with too much free time. Does that count as young adult fiction?
Does that count as young adult fiction?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really sure it probably depends on who you're talking to, right? I'm not sure where you draw the line at young adult fiction. For me, like young adult fiction has just become like a term to describe shit I don't like. So in that case, it's not young adult fiction.
Yet. Okay. We're 16 with too much free time. Kimberly slides her finger across the skin above her lip and licks the coke that dribbled out of her nose. She just had a big fight with her boyfriend, John, who is 45 years old. Kimberly says she needs somebody to go with her to Hollywood to deal with this fucking bullshit. She meets me at my house. I'm wearing jeans and a heatherette tank top with a diamond graphic that says diamonds are a girl's best friend. And expensive hair extensions. They kind of take hours to put in. We make the easy 1 mile trek to her house so we can get properly dressed up. Kimberly's house is disheveled. The house is filled with things and creepily devoid of people. I've never met Kimberly's parents. The things are everywhere. Dusty Chanel purses and indifferent designer cosmetics. Her phone rings, the ringtone indiscernible over the blasting MGMT record. She violently motions for me to switch off the stereo so she can put John on speakerphone. We're going to the beach, she informs us. Get ready. She crushes up some blow with a MAC compact and does a line, her anger switching off instantly. She resurfaces on the genial? How do you say that? Thank you. Plateau of euphoric haze. She throws some Marlboro Reds into one of her Chanel purses, and soon we get picked up by John in his red BMW. My hair is flying everywhere. We are driving fast, fast, fast. The world around me shaded dark through Valentina butterfly shades. Kimberly tells me she loves me. We pull up to John's house, hop out of the BMW, and get into his Escalade. Kimberly lights up a cig. Oh my god, I need to change that to cigarette. Jesus. Right. She brags about her matches from Vegas and how fast they light up. I read all the stickers in the garage. Something about empowering girls and donating to Africa. Do you have any kids? I asked John. The seats are beige leather, soft, smooth. It feels like a spaceship, somewhere to hide from the dry heat of the San Fernando Valley. Yeah, he says a daughter, Amanda, she's 16. We leave and stop at a liquor store. Kimberly and I are in need of some eyeliner, but I can't find any. I ask if we're going to get drunk at the beach. Kimberly says yes, which sounds pretty nice to me. It's a long drive to the beach from the valley. So John stops in the parking lot to make us some drinks in the car. I drink whatever John mixes. Vodka and red Gatorade. and it's strong. The lack of food replaced with diet pills and diet pills makes me dizzy. We're drinking out of red cups and we stay in the liquor store parking lot until the cups are empty because we don't want to spill in the car. Kimberly and I take some Vicodin because it's there and it's free. She's more cautious than me and only swallows one once I have first. Back on the road, we're listening to music and dancing in the leather seats and smoking when Kimberly picks up her jacket off the floor of the car, revealing 2 handguns and 1 shotgun. I've never seen a gun before, I say. You've never even held one? John says. I shake my head, hypnotized by the presence of a weapon I've only seen in movies. Can't stop staring at them, the shiny metal things half covered by Kimberly's soft yellow hoodie. 1, 2, 3. Have you ever killed anybody? I ask. He looks at Kimberly, then at me. Yes. John tells me that there are only 1,000 in the world with the shotgun and proceeds to put it in my hand. I laugh and tell him I've never held a gun before. He laughs and says he's not going to kill me. I keep nodding off and being woken up by John feeling up my thighs. We go to this restaurant in Malibu called Taverna Tony's. He gets a Jack and Coke and orders us 2 margaritas on the rocks. John knows Tony, so we meet him. John keeps showing off his status and saying how Brad Pitt goes to this restaurant, that we were at the best table. At this point, I am so drugged out. I ask anyone I see if I look cross-eyed because I am so dizzy. Kimberly's desire to go to Venice Beach is overpowered by her need to ride the Sea Dragon at Santa Monica Pier. We have a 5-minute argument about its actual existence, and then we're on our way. A sea dragon, it's a sea dragon. She was so emphatic about it. I mean, this is fiction, or is it? Okay. We arrive at 3rd Street Promenade where John makes a reservation at Hotel California. I try to make the concierge believe John is my dad. He's my dad. But they just look at me for a second, me wobbling around with Kimberly, and then just ask John for his credit card. We go shopping. Thank you. We go shopping. Walking itself is a carnival ride, and Kimberly and I are both talking in amazingly convincing British accents. Obviously not, we're just fucking drunk. But he gets Kimberly a $300 dress at Mac's Studio, and then buys me $200 worth of Juicy Couture perfume and body wash at Sephora. After a few hours of going in each store with a quaintly lit promenade, we drive Kimberly back home. But I don't want this night to end. I want this glamorous days of drugs and shopping to go on forever. John drives me back to the hotel with him. In the car, John starts massaging my thigh at first, and then smacks my crotch hard. At the hotel, John tries to fuck me, but I cover up my pussy and tell him to put a condom on. He looks momentarily sheepish, maybe even girlishly shy, like a little kid in trouble. I ask him if he has any STDs, and he gives me a look like, the most scandalous thing ever. Of course not, he says. And then I think of the guns. We fuck, and he constantly tells me he loves me, and how gorgeous I am, etc., etc. I play along, tell him I love his cock. I let him unzip my dress, and we fuck again while I stare at the beautiful Hotel California ceiling of Mirage, a fish, and the attack of the 50-foot woman movie poster. I give him head, and I gag, and he pushes my head, and I throw up on his dick. My stomach is only vodka and pills, so nothing comes up but acidic water. Not that it even matters, because I lick it all back up. My body does not belong to me. It's not even attached to me. I'm floating. It ends, and I tell him I am leaving to walk back to Express to get my jacket since I left it there. I got it from Wasteland, and I really fucking like it. I do not come back. I am in Santa Monica, and everything is closed. And this means my only way of getting back home is calling my dad. Uber didn't exist. Nausea ripples through my body through the drive back to the house. I sit in the back and listen to oldies, KRS 101. I'm annoyed by the taste of salt on my lips and by how long the clean scent of ocean air lingers in the car. Okay, that's it.
That was great. Someone else said this, I think it was Jane said this in the chat, but that has really strong like 70s exploitation movie vibes to me, which
Ooh,
and I mean that in like the
you're
kindest possible
cool.
way. It's like,
Hey, can you stop talking about drug dealing? Okay, thank you. All right, so it's Elvis from my old, really, from my DeviantArt. Jesus, okay. I am going to publish. Okay, this is really short, so it's fine. I'm going to publish all my poems. There will be about 50 books. Everyone will notice. Everyone will care. There will be a movement. Then I will fake my own death. Then everyone will really notice. Then everyone will really care. Because, now dead, they can see me in a different light. What was once accidental now is profound. What was once amateur is now precocious. I am so much deeper with the brain 6 feet under. Okay, keep in mind, this was just in response to Damien asking me to read shit from I wrote when I was 13. Publishers will rejoice. Poetry without the poet. They will make various minimalistic covers, and I'll be immortalized in hardcover. My first grade teacher will say she knew all along. But then I'll come back from the dead. I'll wake up. Come back from my hole underground, where I'd be chatting it up with Elvis and say to everyone, you were wrong. That theory was bullshit. That poem was about pancakes, not about gender inequality. I don't have daddy issues. And Freud and Princeton were wrong about that one line about that one thing. And you should have loved me while I was alive, when I could have talked back the first time. Not when I was dead. And you could say I meant whatever it is you wanted me to mean. And you were free to chew until flavor was all but lost. Because now, when I die for real, you never know when I might come back and correct you about that one line, about that one thing that only I can know the truth about. All right, well, that is Eris' poetry, toilet time. Yeah, done.
I'm sorry, I missed like all of it. I really apologize.
It'll be even better when you see it, because I'm on my phone. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that was fantastic, Ryan. Is there anyone else who wants to read? I know we have one more person who wanted to read, but he said he wouldn't be here until 9. Do we have anyone in the chat right now who'd like to read something?
Can I read random parts from Cocaine Doom?
Random parts from what?
Nothing I did with that guy who doesn't talk to me anymore.
Go right ahead.
Nice.
Okay, cool. Stop touching it, friend. Touching what exactly? I mean, if you touched me, I could touch you. We both know that would lead to different touches and different soft yielding to taut violation of hard surfaces, sharp smacking against rough latex, tightened glove skins, violent shaking, thrusting, hard hurting amidst soft glitter patterns and shards of tightened window environments. I can call you later, your wet voice, a hiss in my ear, sweat and earwax, and when I push the bun away from my face, it looks like a Wish app attempt at a white bitch ivory / Mac robot flesh. Just Mac mineralized time check lotion. You will be non-linear and without pores. Just some cheap rectangle covered in dimethicone from the makeup left on it. Bald, a wig maybe, hair pulled out. Perhaps slight saliva flecks, razor slashes into face. Certainly a thickness of vowel and tautness to the temper. That's a bit word. Screaming, lighting contact lenses from Halloween costume and drag makeup, rendering monstrous aura frightening. By the way, it wouldn't make more sense if I started earlier or later. It's, what is it you said, delightfully disorienting? About the other piece? I can only aim for that. But mutilated torture chamber. Fuck yeah, your parents are awesome.
Monstrous or frightening, mutilated torture chamber in a horror story, the way you scrawl those letters on the wall of your tooth cave. What do they mean, and what powers are you accumulating in that little orgone hut when you pretended to cut the implanted transmitter out of your mouth? A certain thickening in the throat, picking at prickles of hair along the edge of my jaw. I enunciate with my tongue in the grooves of my teeth. Click, 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 click. Wailing like ghosts that can't contain me in their prayers. Concentrating with my hand twisted over my mouth, moving my lips in ways that express certain sneering emotions while pinching the skin at the top of my scalp. My face is a shape and I feel it with my hand for reassurance. I want to know that I remain imposing, sharp. I want you to maneuver your fingers over my face skin, feeling with bitterness the sore hand that contains a thought and its twist, and wriggling around. Let me change my filter. Hold on. Sounds good. Okay. I apologize for making that lame joke. And before, I click the knuckles of my left hand as I bore down on my will. But I kid, I cough, I kvetch. Get over it. I'm not sincere enough. You accept my apology gracefully, so excited like a child. I was amazed you even called, he said, and his name was Andrew, and he drew a strange symbol in the sand, wiping it away before I could memorize, before burying her, Elizabeth, in the sand. Completely, I'll exand her later, he said slyly, so maybe that was his name, Alexander, who knows, I didn't get the joke. Subliminate imprinting a sigil, finally on her forehead. It would only take on meaning later, much later, ... Qua, qua, qua. Many tears poured out of my left eye as he unsanded part of her head to braid her hair in fractal patterns. Eyes bleeding in target. You're not supposed to be able to survive there for long, I hear. Ventilation poisoning, lighting washout, eyes wasted on far sickness. I love that word. Of bleach and magazines and shit. I'm tautening my calves and hamstrings, trying to concentrate, trying to rub and get loosen that pectoral clavicle region, also my fucking scalp. I can't get comfy. Gymnastics of kinesthetic intentionality. Heavy vowels in my voice, twitchy, looking at ads in every direction, sucking on my own saliva. Thoughtful, targeted, panting, sweating in my reeking crotch, labels on the product, sucked in air, brightly colored, you know, air conditioning, corporate towels, corporate detergent, corporate tank top lint, corporate tweaker scratching my skull, manic, out of control, cosmic grit grinds in my teeth. Cute panties, yeah though. Yeah, put them on, why not? I want to see you in them, see you. Target has great socks, you know. You get the ones with both pigs and bacon on them. Hot pink. Sick joke. Anklets, bitch. Those are real, by the way. Those t-shirts with Darth Vader or Bart Simpson. Plucking my lip from its cage. You made a cage for my lip. It's cupped. My lip is impotently caged in a house you designed. A lip house, lip architecture. You crawl around the columns of the ridges of the pseudorectal lip tissue, applying thick plaster. You feel your toenails against your socks and it kills you, and you take off your socks and they're flung against walls. The Kundalini yoga that I did, the ringing bells, the empty zilch zen scorched aura of the space was torched with 1,000 demons before I saged that shit to oblivion now. Incense and jangling bell scorch, I cry, weep from my chakra eyeballs, beating tears of trauma focused. Oh. Wait. Focus, infinite transcendental submission to structure. Structure itself alone can save me. I'm mad, and only structure saves me from it. Structure itself alone. I'll keep reading it. In my own mind, it's cruelty and disorder. It's apologizing beat dots where my fingers touched my face, scanning to 3D model it. What if when you flung something against a wall? Hear me out. Your body was flung in its stead. Flinging your own flinging face at its far-flungness. Is that what you call convenience? In short, no. No one asks you. No one asks you to do that. But nevertheless, it is always screaming at me. My fucking frost-frozen, frigid face, the quivering edges of my facialized frontal absent core, the blank hole I call my identiface, the sliding interlace of muscle of its expressions, pixelated just like my leg. Hell,
so held in specific muscle forms. Consult a medical textbook trying to pin down the exact shape of its kinesthetic loneliness. I smile at you through the screen whenever I am rough or throwing things roughly. Yeah? As if it were me, myself, thrown roughly, you see, screaming into the void, throwing myself roughly like a football player, self-tackling down the elevator shaft. Crash. Hopefully my iPhone didn't accidentally shatter. Okay. Hang on, babe. I'm just gonna skip ahead a little. Hang on, babe. Who are you again? This whole music, it's really sad. Why did they go with John Dolan? That's fucked. Isn't that some sort of corporation where it's just to gaslight you? Some kind of sick art experiment? What? I dialed, hon. Wait, I'll try to call you back. Fucking loading issues. The connection. Do I type numbers? Dyscalculus, see, I have it's like dyslexia, but with numbers. I'm tired and I feel like I fucked up. A typo, a mistake, an error. I have it, though, a disorder. So don't count on me. It's not quite up to snuff, my mind, but the thing is I've been vomit by the side of a bona fide hustler, horoscope badass who brought on the bankruptcy nausea after 2 inheritances. Somehow kept my broke ass along for love, shivering epileptic something. But if you ever saw my ass, truly saw my ass, you'd understand what love is, you see. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, kink list, email me for it. JK? Hey there. Death could come at any time. There is no time for shame. Redemption is a lie. Sold at Target or Whole Foods, but is also sold out outer sunset. Vomit like a comet. Fog is air. No people exist. Death is near. Use your hands to write it down. Good thing you're myopic. Death is whatever, but you cannot afford literally anything. But definitely not being dumb shy. Why don't you make a diorama and show us how you feel? Okay, I think I've made you guys suffer through that enough. Okay, cool.
No, that was fantastic. I actually tweeted out the link to that one.
Oh, right on. Thank you.
Because I think that, like, I don't think it can be appreciated properly unless you have the text in front of you, because you're doing so much with formatting and spacing and capitalization and like weird fucking shifts in color and text. I feel a little bad for Benny because
I was like, do you need help? Like, I can do this. Because I started out actually making a whole different website for it, like, just in case.
Could I read something after Eris, please?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Eris is up next, and then Unity. Eris,
Okay,
I know you're
so
with us because I just saw you.
Sean Kilpatrick asked me to write something about violence, about what it was like. Wait, let me go to the DMs. He was like, told me about like the knives with the blade or whatever. And so I channeled my inner psychopath and I wrote this. Okay. And I'm
So is this a brand new piece?
Yeah, I free-wrote it yesterday. I have not edited it. I don't know how to say that. So
is this your first brand new piece that you're presenting since getting out?
Yeah, and I would like to say that this is a work of fiction and cannot be used in court. All right.
All right.
Good disclaimer.
Silence was a language I learned from her, but I was still playing a role. I was playing Parker. I was playing the bad guy. I was so tired of being the victim, because that shit gets old real fast. I told her to stay still, and I lightly cut her neck, making sure not to go too deep. I wanted decoration, for people to know I was there, that she did this to people, made them bad. She got up. Rewind. She came in. She had drugs, and I didn't, so I let her in. She had stolen Parker's knives and put them in a Billie Eilish stance sock I had gotten her off Poshmark. Where are my knives? I asked her, loud enough so she'd hear me over her headphones, an insufferable, always there Zoom call. In the bag, she said, without looking away from the screen. I loved those knives. I could see why she stole them. Spyderco knives. They felt light in my hand, like nothing. They cut so easily. I remember my mouth making an O when I saw the inside of her arm. It was gross. And then I said the same exact thing Parker said to me. When he saw my face after 8 hours of us, there is no name I want to call it. Wow, I really fucked you up, huh? That looks really bad. My eye looked like it had almost popped out or something, like I was one last punch away from that one Uroguro everyone has seen. That looks really bad, I said sarcastically, mocking Parker, as I looked at Allison's arm. But she didn't know I was mocking him. You should get some help, I said. After she saw my look of disgust, she looked and, what's a good way to say she looked horrified? Like she didn't know her body could do that. I had sliced paper with the knives before, loving how sharp they were. I drew a line on her shoulder, lightly, like a painter. It opened her skin up. When I put the knife to her neck, I remembered the way Parker put the same knife to my thighs, slowly, delicately, softly, almost not touching, and like magic, red lines would appear later. The last time I wanted to live was when he tried to kill me. Okay, that's it. Yeah, because I forgot. I thought time zones were different. Should I? Yeah, but then in the chat, someone said to read part of my book, so I'm going to do that. Someone give me a page number. There's only
this book? This one?
Yeah. Oh my God, I love you. Hi. Is there anyone? Oh my God, it's almost terrifying. Is there any part you want to hear out loud? Like in a bona fide ballet girl voice?
How about Joyride?
Okay, fuck yeah. Kimberly screams into my ear with all the loudness of her voice tuned to the frequency of my cell phone. Fuck your plans, I can't be alone right now. Her sentences are punctuated by the sound of her snorting lines. We're 16 with too much free time. Kimberly slides a finger across the skin above her lip and licks the coke dribbling from her nose. She's just had a big fight with her boyfriend, John, who is 45 years old. Kimberly says she needs somebody to go with her to Hollywood to deal with this fucking bullshit. She meets me at my house. I'm wearing jeans and a heatherette tank top with a diamond graphic, diamonds are a girl's best friend, and expensive hair extensions, the kind that takes hours to put in. We make the easy 1 mile trek to her house so we can get properly dressed up. Am I reading too fast? Okay.
No, you've got a good pace.
Kimberly's house is a mess. The house is filled with things and creepily devoid of people. I've never met Kimberly's parents. The things are everywhere. Dusty Chanel purses and indifferent designer cosmetics. Her phone rings. The ringtone indiscernible over the blasting MGMT record. She violently motions for me to switch off the stereo so she can put John on speakerphone. We're going to the beach, he informs us. Get ready. She crushes the blow with a MAC compact and does a line, her anger switching off instantly. She resurfaces on a genial genial plateau of a euphoric haze. She throws Marlboro Reds into one of her Chanel purses, and soon we get picked up by John in his BMW. My hair is flying everywhere. We are driving fast, fast, fast. The world around me shaded dark through Valentino butterfly shades. Kimberly tells me she loves me. We pull up to John's house, hop out of the BMW, and get into his Escalade. Kimberly lights up a cig. She brags about her matches from Vegas and how fast they light up. I read all the stickers in the garage, something about empowering girls and donating to Africa. Do you have any kids? I asked John. The seats are beige leather, soft, smooth. It feels like a spaceship, somewhere to hide from the dry heat of the San Fernando Valley. Yeah, he says. A daughter, Amanda. She's 16. We leave and stop at a liquor store. Kimberly and I are in need of some eyeliner, but I can't find any. I ask if we are going to get drunk at the beach. Kimberly says yes, which sounds pretty nice to me. It's a long drive to the beach from the valley, so John stops in the parking lot to make us some drinks in the car. I drink whatever John mixes, vodka and red Gatorade, and it's strong. The lack of food, replaced with diet pills, makes me dizzy.
We are drinking from red cups. We stay in the liquor store parking lot until the cups are empty because we don't want to steal in his car. Kimberly and I take some Vicodin because it's there and it's free. She's more cautious than me and only swallows one once I have. Back on the road, we're listening to music and dancing in the leather seats and smoking when Kimberly picks her jacket off the floor of the car, revealing 2 handguns and 1 shotgun. I've never seen a gun before, I say. You've never even held one? John asks. I shake my head, hypnotized by the presence of a weapon I've only seen in movies. Can't stop staring at them, the shiny metal things half covered by Kimberly's soft yellow hoodie. 1, 2, 3. Have you ever killed anyone? I ask. He looks at Kimberly, then at me. Yes. John tells me that there are only 1,000 in the world of the shotgun, and proceeds to put it in my hand. I laugh and tell him I've never held a gun before. He laughs and says he's not going to kill me. I keep nodding off and being woken up by John feeling at my thighs. We go to this restaurant in Malibu called Taverna Tony's. He gets a Jack and Coke and orders us 2 margaritas on the rocks. John knows Tony, so we meet him. John keeps showing off his status and saying how Brad Pitt goes to this restaurant and that we're at the best table. At this point, I am so drugged out. I ask anyone I see if I look cross-eyed because I am so dizzy. Kimberly's desire to go to Venice Beach is overpowered by her need to ride the sea dragon at Santa Monica Pier. We have a 5-minute argument about its actual existence, and then we're on our way. We arrive at 3rd Street Promenade, where John makes a reservation at Hotel California. This actually exists, okay? I try to make the concierge believe John is my dad, but they just look at me for a second, me wobbling around with Kimberly, and then ask John for his credit card. We go shopping. Walking itself is a carnival ride. Oh, sorry. And Kimberly and I are both talking in amazingly convincing British accents. John buys Kimberly a $300 dress at Mac's Studio, and then buys me $200 worth of Juicy Couture perfume and body wash at Sephora. After a few hours of going in each store on the quaintly lit promenade, we drive Kimberly back home. But I don't want the night to end. I want this glamorous days of drugs and shopping to go on forever. John drives me back to the hotel. In the car, John starts massaging my thigh at first, then smacks my crotch hard. At the hotel, John tries to fuck me, but I cover my pussy and tell him to put on a condom. He looks momentarily sheepish, maybe even girlishly shy, like a little kid in trouble. I ask him if he has any STDs, and he gives me a look that would be like as if that was the most scandalous thing ever. Of course not, he says. I think of the guns. We fuck. He constantly tells me he loves me and how gorgeous I am, etc., etc. I play along, tell him I love his cock. I let him unzip my dress and we fuck again while I stare at the beautiful Hotel California's ceiling mirage of fish and the Attack of the 50-Foot Woman movie poster. I give him head. I gag. He pushes my head and I throw up on his dick. My stomach is only vodka and pills, so nothing comes up but acid water. Not that it even matters, because I look it all up. My body does not belong to me. It's not even attached to me. I'm floating. It ends, and I tell him I'm leaving to walk back to Express to get my jacket since I left it there. I got it from Wasteland, and I really fucking like it. I do not come back. I'm in Santa Monica, and everything is closed, and this means my only way of getting back home is by calling my dad. Nausea ripples through my body on the drive back to the house. I sit in the back and listen to oldies, K-Earth 101. I'm annoyed by the taste of salt on my lips and by how long the clean scent of ocean air lingers in the car. Okay, that's Joyride.
That's so good. I think I heard you read an earlier version of that chapter months and months and months ago.
Probably it was on Hobart. Yeah.
Oh, that might be it. And you know, when you read it then, I was very like caught up in like the rhythm of the early part of the piece, which is very like manic. And I didn't realize how sad the ending was. The ending is
a lot of people are
sad.
like, a lot of people, yeah, apparently they don't realize like that it's actually kind of sad, which I'm really happy about, because you know, who wants to be like the depressing rape writer? No one. Rudy, you wanted me to read something. I'll read anything.
from.
Yeah, Eris. Here we go.
Yeah.
What do you have for us?
I have teeth now.
You
Haha.
holy shit! You have teeth again.
Yeah. What a time to be alive. Let me put this. I'm gonna terrify you guys and do that.
Oh shit.
Oh, crap. Why doesn't that lamp work? So you wanted what page?
Oh, are you going to be reading from Ruthless Little Things?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Just pick a page at random.
Oh, no. Rudy, I thought wanted a certain page. Cute Coke Psychosis.
Can you do cute Coke Psychosis?
Okay.
Okay.
This is funny because this is a copy of a book where I spelled someone's name wrong, so I'm just keeping it. Oh, misery cannot compete with curiosity. I just passed by that sentence. Rudy, do you know what page it's on? Sorry.
Yeah, it's 69.
Hey, nice.
Nice.
Nice. All right. Madsy wanted to strangle herself when reading her old live journals. She had to write a book like a real book, and not the kind of book she wrote at her magnet elementary school. And she wanted to strangle herself. Courtney Love once said that she wasn't psychic, but her lyrics were, and that's how Madsy felt about her writing. She wrote about being a drug addict before actually being one. She glamorized it and then lived it. Glamorously sometimes, and then also the real banal agony of withdrawal to dismal addict day-to-day life. She hated what she was writing now, too fucking polluted by some boy she had been spending too much time with. Even now, writing something new, she felt it being read in his voice, like a fucking psycho, and she wanted him out of her head this very instant. Blast the whole record, talk to other people on Twitter, always thinking she was about to cry because of the cocaine. I always do too much cocaine. Not really a solitary thought, but one she idly imagined who she would tell that to. And the lesbian sex. God, she was so terrible at writing about that. She knew nothing of intimacy. Did she even now? Feelings of disgust washed over her, like all the dead skin cells already on her body from not showering. Avoid the body, it does not exist. Look, just because he's a Scorpio moon doesn't mean he can. Loud interrupting sigh from Madsy. God, she fucking hated when people did this. Put her in the middle. It happened with Tracy and Mila, and it happened with and Jordan, and now with these two fucking faggots. She laughed, thinking that to herself, idly masturbating on the bed with her clit hard against the exposed mattress. Miss World, watch me break and watch me burn. Courtney crooned from her shitty laptop her father bought her. It was great, and she wasn't complaining. She had to keep moving because if she was still for too long and then moved the flies, would move everywhere, and that was just too cacophonic. His voice was again, God damn it, how do I get rid of it? Fuck. She was tired of hearing the same old fucking thing but never getting it herself. It. What was it? But, oh baby, I can be myself around you. Myself equals pervert. Myself equals soft. Like, God, it wasn't so fucking revolutionary to not have a sexual shame. My God. I'm not the... Yeah, it's me, whatever. I don't know, whatever. I'm not the second coming of Christ. And quite frankly, God damn it, get out of my head. I'm so sick of this shit. I'm not even going to bother with any cute fucking joke about coming and sexual perversion. Who fucking cares? Everyone that I really loved is dead. Now it's all games. And it was all games. It's all a game. Fuck you. And then there's like the rest of the chapter, but like, I just want to end on that vibe. And that reminds me of that, like, that tweet you posted about, like, Biden, like, you know, would I lie to you? Everyone I love is dead.
You still remember that tweet?
Of course I remember.
Oh, no, that was amazing. I really love the way you get inside the like the neuroticism of writing, like that like nagging feeling, not only like that your work is bad, but that your work is somehow not your own. I mean, I know I've been there too, where I'll be writing and I'll be like, no, this isn't me. This is like somebody else has gotten in here and they've like poisoned the well, right? And it's such a weird like phenomenon, and I think you capture it like really beautifully in that piece. Also, like as I said in the chat, that has big like Rudy's filthy bedroom energy. That section.
Ooh, wait, I'm unfamiliar. Like the pictures?
You and Rudy have actually talked before about like how badly you trash. I think you had like a competition as to who had trashed their bedroom more badly.
That McDonald's trash, that's won my heart, man.
Oh yeah. No, that I love the energy of that piece, and like I said, your writing always has this voice that is like so like vivid. I don't really know any other way to describe it. I said in the chat, they said it's almost like Daria mixed with Salo. Nice.
Daria mixed with who?
I was thinking of the Pier Paolo Pasolini Salo 120 Days of Sodom, the movie. It's like all this like all deplorable shit, but it's so like lyrical and like poetic. It's awesome.
And coming from me, like, I can't say that anymore. Anyway, just stop somewhere. Anyway, thank you.
No, I love it.
It was a pleasure to read that out loud. I forgot how fucking insane I was.
That was great. Thank you so much for reading, Eris.
I'm sorry that I missed everyone again.
No, it's okay. Hey, that's why we record these things, right? So I actually think I saw Eris in here. Are you with us still, Eris?
Oh yeah, totally. Last time I actually fell asleep. So yeah.
That's okay. You had a piece that you wanted to read last week, right?
Yeah. It's pretty old, but that's okay.
Got the link here.
Yeah, that one. Okay. Should I get like my actual Beats microphone, or is this okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. All right. Razor Blade is a 7th grade queer kid. She is a misandric truant, mostly known for having hot pink hair and being the loner goth because she makes fun of Bauhaus in front of the other goths that sit together and are part of a coven. She doesn't care though. She makes cupcakes instead of caring. She makes delicious cupcakes and decorates them with sugar powder spiders and chocolate bats and dances around to the cure with frosting all over her face, as happy as can be. Today she has a date with the girl she's been crushing on since she first saw her a few days ago. Razor Blade was lacing up a pair of violet creepers when she saw a girl walk in with blue hair and a studded denim vest. This girl is the only girl besides Razor Blade that has a comparable love for truancy and black lipstick. This girl's name is Jellybean. I don't know why I gave them weird fucking names and refused to use like nouns, but anyway. Razor Blade hasn't been to school in exactly a week. Razor Blade's favorite schedule is going to school in time for history class and then leaving before algebra. Sometimes she stays for physical education if it's something fun, involving hitting people or hip thrusting, but she never stays for running or anything with teams. Jellybean hates most people, but likes Razor Blade. When Jellybean likes someone, she likes them a lot, because she has a lot of love, and she's been holding back from giving it to people she didn't think were deserving of it. Jellybean is so excited for her day with Razor Blade that she dyed her hair a different color. Jellybean can't wait for Razor Blade to see her orange hair tangled with black ribbons and plastic heart barrettes. Razor Blade is delighted to spend time with Jellybean today, but first she has to make it through her first day back at school. Luckily, Razor Blade has a power. Razor Blade can put the souls of celebrities into her teachers, as well as figures of authority, for exactly 13 minutes at a time. Razorblade attributes her power to being raised by her wicked mother, who died when she was 2. I have no idea how old this is. She was later adopted by tabloid journalists. Before Razorblade could learn to talk or concentrate on incantations, she grew up with TMZ. The National Enquirer was the source of bedtime stories. To her, Snow White was just something Lindsay Lohan snorted. Razorblade has reached the maximum amount of legal days to be ousted from school. If she doesn't go to each period of class today, her adoptive parents will find out. Razorblade won't get her allowance anymore, which will stop her from saving enough money to buy the Hello Kitty mobile home she's been saving up for it since she was old enough to understand that money equals power and power equals freedom. Razorblade survives English by turning her teacher into Courtney Love for a few minutes. I need a fucking cigarette, the teacher says emphatically and leaves the room. By the time she comes back, she looks confused and tells everyone it's silent reading time. Razorblade sleeps through social studies and science without any problems. She is refreshed from her nap enough to enjoy history class. Now it's physical education. She's been waiting for this one. Last class of the day. She can do this. She changes in the dressing room into the shirt that fits her like a dress and the mesh shorts that fall to her knees. She keeps her creepers on. Razorblade got the mind of Amy Winehouse inside of the gym teacher. Fuck it, was all he said, and walked out of the school. Razorblade and the other students went back inside the locker room to change. She spent some time on her makeup and then used the extra time to stand right outside of Jellybean's last class of the day, computers. Jellybean walked out of class looking tired, but then jumped in, surprised, as soon as she saw Razorblade. Hey, Jellybean said while suffocating Razorblade with a hug. I'm so glad you made it through the day, Razorblade said to Jellybean. She couldn't stop smiling. Me too, said Jellybean. Do you want to go out to eat? There's an ice cream truck that always comes out of the park after school. No, I don't spend money, Jellybean explained. I only save it. Let's go to my house and eat strawberries. I grow them myself. I love strawberries, Razorblade said. I save money too. Are you saving up for something special? No, Jellybean answered. I just haven't found anything worthy of my money yet. Nice, Razorblade said. I'm saving up for a Hello Kitty mobile home. Jellybean was silent for a few seconds. How close are you to buying it? She asked. A few thousand, Razorblade said slowly. That's about what I have saved up. Let's buy a Hello Kitty mobile home and never go to school again. We can sell my strawberries for cash. What do you say? As long as I can make cupcakes in it and play The Cure and never have to listen to Bauhaus or algebra lectures again. Yes, of course. Razorblade looked at Jellybean dreamily. I really love your new hair color, you know. Jellybean kissed Razorblade, and Razorblade was so delighted that she grabbed Jellybean by her orange hair and rolled around the grass with her. Jellybean and Razorblade began their sweet mobile lives together, traveling across America, selling strawberries so delicious that each customer bought in bulk. Even in the context of a Hello Kitty RV, impulsive let's run away together realities are never without their drama. There were reports of robberies wherever Jellybean and Razorblade went. At first, local authorities and the supervisors of liquor store cashiers didn't notice anything. Even the ones that did notice a few missing items didn't think too much of it and blamed it on cute girls that flirted their way into free sodas and candy bars. It was only Denny's that reported an unpaid bill of 15 grand slams. No one figured out how it all happened. All that Jellybean and Razorblade left in their trails were disoriented cashiers and customers who swore they saw Killer Johnny Cash impressions. And so Jellybean and Razorblade really lived happily ever after, traveling across America, selling strawberries when they could actually grow them from inside a decked-out Hello Kitty trailer, and in the company of such charming souls as Jane Mansfield, James Dean, and George Carlin, doing all of their shopping 13 minutes at a time. Elizabeth Aldrich is the girl alone in her room. That's funny.
I want to see the Quentin Tarantino adaptation of this story.
Oh my god, yes.
I'm sure it would be like 60% feet, but I still want to see it.
The deep lore on this, by the way, that this is autofiction. I will not be elaborating further.
What is autofiction? It's just your life, right? It's just live journal, like, right?
It's being a tease. That's what it is.
I was a professional tease, and then I retired.
I never retired.
I'm just.
These colors don't run.
Yeah. Now I have fake teeth.
The piece I read was autofiction, for sure.
Autoerotic asphyxie fiction.
That's what I wrote. Hell yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Yum.
Love you, Daniel. Oh my god.
The Juan. I thought that autofiction was Juan Little Husks. I thought that's what it was.
Those were, well,
Ruthless
those
little
weren't
husks.
one little husks, but I'm a one
Gravity-
little husk, so it works out.
Gravity's Rainbow is autofiction.
More like one
We're gonna
little
get-
bust.
I think you do not have the same haircut as us.
Why
Also,
not?
where's the rest of your hair? Send it to me. I have my hair in my bathroom still.
Oh, mine's it's gone.
I like your hair, Eris.
Why?
Yeah, it's good short.
It's good. It's good. Yeah.
No. I'm for the reading. I have like fake hair ideas, or maybe Gabriel will like bleach it some wonderful piss color or something, or like piss yellow. Not with actual pee, just like.
You get bangs. Do the blonde with bangs. Works.
I don't have my contacts in right now, so nothing's real. That's what I'm saying. Sorry.
Oh, well, nothing's real, whether or not, your eyes are open.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, William. I'm sorry.
Well, it's getting philosophical.
All right, we've got one more piece, and then I'll end the reading, and then we can come completely unhinged. But
Hell yeah.
Eris is up next. Let me see if I can get the link here.
Okay. Fuck. I was like, fuck, I don't follow that, but it's okay. I'm already done crying because of that. That was beautiful. All right. No, that was so good. That was a compliment, obviously. Okay. I killed. Oh, I need a balloon. Yeah. Okay. I kill the night like the night kills the day. It used to be when the boredom sank in, I'd pick up a needle. But now I'm doing strange and almost productive things like deciding to teach myself to sew or contributing to all of the pollution I can. I cut all of my friends' strings so many years ago. They're broken marionettes on the lawn. My girlfriend goes through my phone and I realize how I barely talk to anyone on a regular basis. My contact lists are notably full of dead people. I'm all profanity and bare knuckle rat-a-tats. Yesterday, I went to the mall for the first time in a long time. All that plastic bag hustle just isn't the same without spiking myself to speed in the bathroom. The mall was the ideal place to get high. The bathrooms were noisy, and everyone already looked strung out on holiday cookie hut treats. It was a fresh-faced alternative to Lou Reed's perfect day. And if you needed more, well, don't we worry. Just lift tips off of the restaurant tables or sneak into the dime bag movie theater and pry bills loose from purses stashed under seats. I never actually did any of that. I never stole money, but they also had a survey station that because everything's fiction. Okay, that would pay $5 for a 15-minute survey on consumer products. All of those things are gone now. Only my high school had bathrooms better equipped for shooting up in. Those flat steel shelves up high, I think most people were expected to rest books on them. I ended up in a Barnes & Noble later on. Black coffee and books in the cafe. I'd been reading for about an hour when I glanced up and locked eyes with some guy in passing. I think nothing of it until it happens 3 more times. Same guy, same ridiculously expectant look on his face. Then he sat down at a table across from me and watched me for about 30 seconds before leaving. Another walk by, another eye lock. My teeth are in a lock shop because I never got kicked out of this bookstore for getting caught snorting Coke in the bathroom or horrific pages out of magazines that I needed. Would today be the day that I get escorted out because I blind some guy with scalding coffee? If you're not otherworldly attractive, don't stalk me. I'd go out with a serial killer so long as he compelled me. God, that turned out to be really shit. Anyway, but this guy is not compelling. He's average and his chin is pointy and he's drinking a frappuccino, and I think about what his mouth would taste like, sloshy sugar and frozen milk, and I get it to leave. I like to give the illusion of humanity, so I return the books to the shelves where they belong. Dropping off my last book, I decide to swing by the bathroom. On my way there, I pass the guy. He's also waiting for me when I come out of the bathroom. And this is where I'm met with a separation from my own self. I know I want to walk up to him. I know I want to get my keys in my hands so I can claw his face. I know I want to say, hey, you've been following me for the last half hour. What the fuck do you want?
But this new me, the me from the last year and a half, thinks everyone is a psychopath. And if I go antagonize this weirdo, he'll probably shank me in the middle of the romance section because he fashioned a knife out of bookbinding and coffee stir sticks. So instead, I zigzag through some shelves so he can't follow me and skip out the side door to the parking lot. And that's it.
That was fantastic, Eris, as usual. I love the like sense of missed opportunity here, and I especially love the fact but I love the fact that this missed opportunity was deeply antisocial behavior. There's so many like stories about like, oh God, I wish I had like, you know, I wish I had told her I loved her or whatever. But there are so few stories that are like, I wish I had like fucking shake that motherfucker with my keys, you know? But there's something really true about that. Like, what's the term, like the French term for like the wit of the staircase, that sense of like, damn, like, I really wish I had come up with a comeback to that shit sooner. Like that desire to like, to get some kind of social revenge on someone that never really leaves you, you know? And I think this is a great example of that.
Aww, that's the nicest way I've ever been called a psychopath. Thank you. Oh. Yeah. I don't know how to say this. I have to pee really badly, so I can't really read right now.
That's okay. Why don't you read next time? You'll read next time, and maybe
great
you will be all set by then. Okay. Did anyone else have something they would like to read, or should we call it a night? Eris is up next.
What's up? Okay. That was amazing. That reminded me of like Laurie Notaro's book, The Idiot Girls Action Adventure Club, which is like my favorite book ever. Let me get this shit out of my lap. Oh. Tabs. Okay. This is called Titled. Okay. Give me my body bag. I need my goddamn toe tag. Put me in the drawer or sing the answers. Car trunk. Put me on ice. Pull the plug. Disconnect. Recreate. Retrospection is overrated. Everything happened, but not in 2 words. You only have 2 words right now, but not those words. Not words. You know I am the king in the deck of cards. Ha ha. You know I read Classius. Ha ha ha. You know I'm dead. You know I'm dead as the universe, posthumous repeating music of the helping hand of hell, dispatched to dispense with the matter of all the matters, the ultimate circumstance. I am not in the realms of mind, the gap. Is it not apparent? Are you not a slight ashamed? Haha, ashamed. You said it, not me. You don't love me. You never loved me. I'm a monster of your imagination's dread, reflex, impulse, and inexorable. We kept going. We said things. Ha 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 thing. What a wonderful all-purpose word to describe the goings-on between us. We were having a thing. Her thing and my thing. The it thing. Is it you that's starting to forget? Or is it me that has already reminded you to, and you remember with this sentence, all alone in the closet of your ideal, in the shadow of your shadow, the secret hole inside the hole of every head that's graying eyes where we expense with our non-existence. Yes, we're digging our graves, but from the inside out, we're digging ourselves up. We are going to be exhumed in the aftertime. You will not disagree. You will see it. If you had lived to. But the chances were less than 1 and 2 that it will take you to the 2022. Bet on the blood of your ancestors. You know the odds of even my generation ever seeing the light are few. And even far less between on the quantum end ed. And thank God we're for that. This is the most decadent and ethically indecent generation yet to live in Earth's recent memory. The most overgrown, maladaptive, and malign smash and grab scab of benign dissimulation the budding tumor had ever known. It wasn't due to a partial aphasia. It wasn't reactive attachment disorder. It wasn't her answer over yours, and it wasn't about the color of your lipstick or who she left it on last. There will be no maudlin coda. To this, I sing the electric dialectic of the embodied mind in the modern day, particularly the pollution of self-conversational disassociation in every circumstance, which I am born of the kind of headache you almost pity, that would be lost without you. And then I also have Untitled. Okay. I wish I could make a career of showing everybody the door, figuratively, no less than literally. I could be a door-to-door salesman peddling one-way tickets out of this hilarious hell. Slogan? The getaway of a lifetime. I would lure the family out on false pretenses and have a demolition crew trash the house on my order, abduct the children, and leave the young parents homeless, demoralized, teary-eyed. Against the odds, I would raise charity money explicitly to force sterilizations en masse on the working class, network with like minds who held sway with more conspicuous political players to win the vote your conscience crowd, pass legislation to make neutering at birth as routine as circumcision once was. It could work. I would work by night as an unregistered orderly in several hospitals where I would invert the Hippocratic Oath and fuck the patient chart so I could push my own agenda. Morphine drips on helpless, convulsing infants. Since seniors boast the highest suicide rate, are largely incapable of bearing children, and are so typically infirm / demented anyway, I won't lose any sleep on how to minimize their dwindling carbon footprint. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Sorry, it's all yours, Eris.
Oh, don't be sorry. After reading that, after hearing that, sorry, I kind of want to read one of my favorite things by Goethe said. Can I do that? It's not that long.
Absolutely, go right ahead.
All right. This is I don't know how to pronounce it. Torquato, Tasso. Torquato. So how do you say it? Please?
On this one, I'm not sure what you're.
Oh shit. Torquato Tasso. I'm making him sound like a empanada. Whatever. Tasso alone. Have you awakened from protracted dream, and has the dear delusion suddenly left you? The very day of your consummate joy. Did a sleep cage you, to hold in awe your soul, with heavy fetters now? There's no denying, you dream, awake. Where have those good hours gone that played around your head with flowery garlands? The days when with free longing your mind could soar through the extended azure of the sky. And yet you are alive and touch real flesh, can touch real flesh and doubt that you're alive. Is it my fault? Is it the other's fault that faulted I am here, a guilty man? Have I committed for that for which I suffer? Was not my whole fault that I did what's right? I looked at him, moved only by goodwill, moved on too fast by the heart's folly, hope, that he who wears a human face is human, with open arms I flung myself at him to meet no arm's response, but lock and bolt. And yet so tactically I had planned how to confront a person who from old acquaintance had been suspect to me. Whatever may have happened to you now, hold on, hold fast to this old certainty. I saw her. She was there in front of me. Her glances, tone, her words' most precious meaning, they're mine forever, not to be stolen from me by time, by fate, or by ferocious fortune. And if too quickly then my spirit rose, and if too fast in my own heart I gave air to the flames that now have turned on me, I cannot rue it, even if all my life's predestined course were ended now forever. To her I pledged myself, glad to obey the beckoning hint that drew me to disaster. Let it be so. At least I have proved worthy of the sweet confidence that has forced wide open for me the blackened gates of a long term of mourning. Nothing now can be undone. The sun of warmest favor suddenly goes down for me. The Duke averts his gracious eyes from my person, leaving me to stand bewildered here on the dark, narrow track. Those ugly beasts, ambiguously winged, the nasty retinue of ancient night, swarm from their flares and flap around my head. Where shall I direct my footsteps now to flee this loathsomeness that whirs all around me? Avoid a precipice too, more fearful still? And that's originally by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, translated by Michael Hamburger. And that's one of my favorite things ever. And I read it because I read this book called Poetic Madness and the Romantic Imagination, which was kind of like related to what was previously read. And then, okay, I have a really, really, really short love poem too. I have never had to hide how I felt about anything before. But when you decide you're sort of, kind of, just a little bit in love with a woman who you shouldn't be with, for more reasons than you can count on your fingers and toes, it is necessary to keep quiet. But she makes me want to sing and scream and laugh and cry, none of which are quiet actions. So at night, when the world sleeps, I make all the noise I want and keep quiet in daylight. Yeah. And then also I wanted to know like what text generator you use, because I wanted to like mash up all these breakup emails I have and just make a bot make one. Yeah.
Someone else may be able to answer the text editor thing. I know a lot of people are using like GPT-2 or GPT-3. I'm not sure which one is publicly available right now. But somebody who has actually done that shit can probably answer that in the chat. But I want to talk about your poem because your poem rocks.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, it's a beautiful piece, and it's so unlike your other writing. Now, I love your other writing, and I love this piece, but I really dig it when someone comes here and like shows a side of themselves that's surprising, you know, that's unexpected. And most of your
I wanted to surprise you.
Oh, you did. Because most of your writing is like wonderfully inventive, but like pitch fucking black, right? Like really, really dark, really, really like ugly, like in like its portrayal of humanity. So it's really nice to have you come here and like read like really sensitive romantic piece, right? And an optimistic, sensitive romantic piece. It's such a nice change of pace, and it's
for real, right?
And it's remarkably well written, and you killed it with the delivery of both that piece and the piece you read before it. So fantastic, Eris. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Am I pronouncing Goethe wrong? I could be. I don't know how to pronounce anything really.
I think that's right. I don't know. I can't.
It's probably right.
I mean, I don't think it's Goethe.
Even
Goethe sounds right to me, but Goethe.
I think you're right, Eris.
Sounds
I
like
mean, wow. Okay, I'm gonna put something in chat, and just if you ever feel bad about your writing, you can just look it up. Oh wait, no, I can't. Well, it's a version of Closer by Nine Inch Nails, but it's about Farmville.
Okay.
I'm just going to shut up. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Eris. Thank you, Eris. And I have so much trouble, like not even pronouncing the names of like authors, like old dead dudes, but even authors in our scenes. Like Eris is next, and Eris, the notes say you have a song. You didn't contact me. You contacted Rudy, so all I have is the notes to go by. And the note says, Eris wants to read a song she wrote. So here we go. Eris is still here. Are you still with us, Eris?
Yeah, I'm just I
Here.
have it on my NeoCity, so I'm like HIJK. Okay. Okay, can someone else screen share so I don't have to? I'm afraid. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I can screen share if you link me to it.
Okay, don't worry, I don't sing in it. I also said that.
Okay, I'm gonna click that link here. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna screen share now. Is that okay?
Thank you so much.
Cool. Tell me when you're ready.
Or is he? Rudy, I think you need to share the audio too. I don't think we're hearing any audio, Rudy, unless it's just me.
Rudy, you're muted.
Oh, just a second. I guess I got a screen share of specifically the audio for this one. Hold on.
Oh, see, this is.
Sorry.
I know I gave you the responsibility, so thank you.
Rip. All right, I'm gonna screen share again. I usually have it on, but the thing clicked it off, so my bad. Here we go.
You live in the past. You look back, you don't see what's in front of you. I see what's in front of me. That's why I look back.
I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna waste my time. Pardon this door. Why do people do that?
Do the best you can with the information you got.
Hurt feelings, envy, worry, jealousy, even depression. You're tired of those things. If you're miserable, if you are worrying or fearful or angry or hurt, lonely, any of those emotions that you're actually choosing to be that way, that other people or circumstances are not making you that way, although we tend to blame other people and things, they have nothing to do with it. We're choosing it because we actually have to assume full responsibility for where we are. Am I expecting something in this world to fulfill me? The higher your level of anger, the more you're going to feel like a victim. The more you feel like a victim, the lower your self-esteem is.
Insecurity about it has to be practical. Who knows what tomorrow's going to bring? Because we can't bear the knowledge that the future is going to be no different from the present or the past. We can't stand any more pain, knowing that every day will be the same as every other.
Eris, that rock. You composed that? You like mixed that
Holy
yourself?
shit.
I don't.
Yeah, like I the other day or a few months ago, whatever. I mixed some of the Jonestown tape over Joy Division, and
Fuck
so ever
yeah.
since then I've been like experimenting with stuff like that. Thanks.
Oh my god.
Holy shit, that was amazing.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
We need to hear that
that's
one
amazing.
too, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know
Wow, that,
anything about music composition at all, but I know that like that rocks. That's all I can say, you know?
yeah, that. Have you ever heard Avalanche? From they're like early 2000s, I think. Frontier Psychiatrist was their single, I think.
Oh my
Ooh.
god. I thought about them in decades.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. That was fucking amazing.
Is that the Jonestown guy talking about the victim mentality?
He's like, I will never lie to you. I just got a Henry Rollins. This is like, just this. Talking's hard. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, wow, that was amazing.
Yeah.
We need to put together a whole album of Jonestown sample tracks.
Yeah.
Dedicated to the memory of the great Jim Jones.
No. Dedicated to all the people that died. Those poor people. But
Yeah.
Either way.
I'd like to see a Waco crossover with Koresh singing in some of his songs.
Yes.
Oh my god, Rudy.
Just Shanaheem or some of his, yeah. Either way.
That's a really great idea. Rudy, you and Eris should work together on that one. I would.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would love to hear that.
I'm just trying to eventually get Rudy to make the Billy Corgan game. That's my long con. Or long.
Eventually.
Okay, this next part, I need some volunteers from the crowd for this next part. Because the first time I read this piece.
Yes, volunteer, hi.
Okay, Eris, okay. So
can I read too, William?
Okay, I need 6 volunteers. I've got Eris, I've got Gigi.
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
I've got Unity.
Can I read too?
Rudy.
I've got John.
Wait, my dad just came in here. I want him as a volunteer.
Oh man, yes. Okay, I yield to Eris.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
How you doing?
Huh?
Hey.
Good evening, everybody. Fellow writer. Hello, Mr. Eris.
How you doing, Mr.
So I hope I remember everyone here. So this next part is a goofy little skit or play. And the first time I read this at the plague readings, I just skipped this part because I didn't know how to read it. And last year I did all the parts myself and it felt awful. So this year I'm splitting it up. So Eris, you volunteered first. So you're James. Gigi is Simon Peter.
All right.
Unity, you're Philip. Rudy, you're Thomas. Who was after Rudy? John, you're Andrew.
Who's my dad?
Matthew.
John is Andrew. I'll take Matthew, and
All right.
and Eris's dad is Jesus. Okay. Perfect.
Wait,
So-
I'm Andrew or Matthew? Am
Shit.
I in this?
My dad is Jesus, and I am.
Okay, we'll go through this again.
I'm Simon.
Everyone get your parts, okay? So,
Wait, is there a link?
oh shit, is it not in the chat?
No.
Yeah, it is. But you have. Oh, it's not in the chat.
I got it. Okay, here we go. So just to recoup, can I remember? Okay.
James is Eris.
Eris is James.
That's funny because my dad's name is James.
Eris is James. Who was Simon Peter?
Me. Me.
Gigi, you're Simon Peter?
Yeah.
Okay, Gigi is Simon Peter. Unity was Philip.
Yeah.
Rudy was James, right?
No, I'm Thomas.
Rudy's Thomas. Who was James? John must
Eris.
Eris is James.
Oh, this is James was already. Jesus Christ, this is the best.
It's in the chat.
Eris is Eris's dad.
Is it the chat? Okay.
Yeah, people were putting it in the chat.
Oh, thank Christ. Okay, okay. So everyone knows who everyone is then, okay? And I've got Matthew, and John has Andrew, and Eris's dad is Jesus. Okay, all right. And I'll do the stage directions. Okay. Thursday, Gethsemane. A dry and uncomfortably warm spring evening in Jerusalem, soon after dusk. Following a cheap meal, Jesus and his disciples have gathered in a garden at the base of the Mount of Olives and intend to spend the night there. Jesus has taken Simon Peter aside and is speaking to him quietly alone. The other disciples are seated on the ground, watching the conversation. They say nothing to each other and are obviously straining to hear what is being said. But even in the stale, windless air, the words are too soft to reach their ears. Eventually, Jesus, visibly distressed, turns away and walks into the trees and out of sight, while Simon Peter throws his hands up in an exaggerated display of frustration and returns to the others.
What was that about? More prima donna bullshit?
He says I've rejected him or I'm going to reject him. Apparently I'm not loyal, not really. After all this fucking time, all these nights, sleeping on the ground, the lepers, the whores, that shit with the pigs. After all of it, now I'm not trustworthy. I watched him throw that hissy fit in the temple, make an ass of himself and all of us at the holiest of all holy places, and I didn't say a word. You saw me. There he was, ranting and raving in front of the priests, in front of the elders, in front of women, in front of children with that whip, that weapon in his hands, and I didn't even gasp. I didn't say, okay, buddy, calm down, you're making a scene. I didn't do what I should have done, what every ounce of my dignity and good sense was begging me to do, and say, you know what? Screw this, and just walk off then and there. No, I stood right by his side like a moron. And now, fuck me, I'm another traitor, I guess.
Yeah, another.
Several of the disciples laugh at this. Andrew spits on the ground.
Judas had the right idea. Just get up and walk off. Don't even say anything. He was so cool about it too. So collected. That bastard would have been really drinking his own blood if he had called me a traitor right there at the table in front of everyone.
What was all that about anyway? The cannibalism stuff, I mean.
Stop washing things. Please. Okay. Isn't it obvious? We're all parasites. We're literally eating him alive. Hungry ticks hanging off his immaculate body.
Literal fucking ticks. Fleas and bed bugs, every one of us.
While they speak, John lies down. He stares absently at the starless sky, oblivious to the conversation around him, and eventually falls asleep.
I don't know. I thought maybe he was threatening to kill himself. Wasn't what he said exactly, but the tone he used. There's something so, fatalistic about the whole thing. And now he's off crying somewhere. You saw his face a minute ago. He's unhinged. And he always seems so, not fragile, but insecure. Like he distrusts himself. Like even he is afraid of what we'll do next.
Manipulative, that's what he is. You don't threaten to kill yourself. You do it or you don't. When you talk about your own death that way, you're trying to get something out of someone. It's conniving. It's what you do when you want something, but you're too cowardly or weak to ask. And you know the other person won't give it willingly.
It's some real faggot shit is what it is.
Matthew has been listening silently but intently to this conversation. His expression, as usual, is serious but sadder than at dinner. When he does speak, he sounds weary, exhausted. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if I'm a sucker. The humiliation of being a tax collector isn't exactly like they say. Nobody was spitting on me in the street. No one threw any stones. No, it's more like that sort of quiet condensation that follows you around. This subtle clucking in people's tones, the constant tisk, tisk, tisk that is never quite vocalized. You're not an outcast, but you're isolated. And when you feel that way, to have somebody approach you, to have someone choose you and outright say, come with me, it's vindicating. It's thrilling. But now I look back at that and think, could he see my vulnerability? Did he know how badly I needed to be wanted and take advantage of that? I wonder if that's at the heart of this con. I used to think I was a smart guy,
I'm educated, after all, sophisticated, worldly wise, not a fisherman or a daily bird, no offense. But maybe I've been taken for a fool, like I said, sucker.
Tool.
No, pussies. That's what we are. Because we're still here bitching like we always do. Just like last night, tomorrow morning we'll get up and follow him into some new fiasco. And tomorrow night we'll be sitting here or somewhere else on the bare, dirty ground again, bitching.
Maybe.
Oh God, here he comes.
The disciples quickly lay down and pretend that they're asleep. Enter Jesus, unkempt, his face stained with tears.
You're Jesus.
Are you asleep? You couldn't stay awake with me for 1 hour? Get up, look.
Enter Judas, followed by a crowd. Oh my God, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Anyway,
Wait, that was so fun. That was amazing. That was so awesome. Like, I'm so glad that, like, that I already acknowledged that, like, I love your work, so I can't talk. So I'm gonna read stupid thing I posted because it's funny, which would be my first. Oh my God, am I still muted? No. Sorry. Which was Sarah?
Nope, we can hear you just fine.
Cool. I love that you sneezed at the right time too. Like that was amazing, Rudy. Because the whole
thanks.
Allegra, your sneeze thing. That was.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so in 2012, I wrote something like top 15 best things my ex-girlfriend said or something like that. So that would be my first listicle but I'm not reading that. Okay. Okay. So I wrote this one day. Okay. Jail/rehab tips. 1. Have your life be really, really shitty before you go in. Have people in your life that make you miserable. Don't take care of yourself at all. 2. Read or listen to, and then it goes to like this open courseware link to Yale's happiness thing, which actually did help because it's like, no matter where you are, you're probably going to be equally miserable. Okay. 3. Have online friends that will write you. This is the most important. 4. View jail as a time for theosophical studies. View rehab as your time as a behavioral scientist. 5. When you are asked if you are prone to seizures, say yes if you don't want to top bunk. They will ask the date of your last 3 seizures. Make one of them within the past year. In jail, they will give you Klonopin for 5 days. And then they just taper you off of it. And then they just, yeah, you're fine. And then Buspar is popular and some people snort it. 7. In rehab, everyone takes trazodone to help them sleep. It causes nightmares. You can take Prazosin for that. Just say you have PTSD nightmares. Avoid Seroquel if you can. It makes you fat. Kat Marnell has recommended Tupamax to stay skinny, and you can totally take that in jail. 8. The day you check into rehab, do heroin or some opiates so you are eligible for MAT. This stands for medication assisted treatment. This means you can get Suboxone or methadone. To be eligible for methadone, you must be pregnant or have had several failed rehab attempts with Suboxone and be on at least something for however long you're there. I don't recommend this if you don't plan on like immediately relapsing upon your release though, you know. 9. Your bunkie is going to make or break your stay. If you don't like her, get a trustee during programming to go house shopping with you. Preferably the one you pay to braid your hair. So trustee is someone in jail that like does stuff, and programming is what they call free time in jail because no one wants to call it free time because you're not free. 10. Get some good reading done. 11. Mental illness in jail is not on your side. If you like being able to wear underwear and use sports, you aren't suicidal, okay? 12. Don't throw food at the guards. This is called gassing. It is a crime. They will put gases above your door. I didn't do this, but I thought it was funny. The only thing I did was like throw like sporks and origami in the hallway. But anyway, you don't want any sign above your door. My best friend in jail had above hers. She was great. Some other signs are withdrawing and suicidal, and they're always all in caps. Anyway. 13, the people wearing label are pregnant, so treat them accordingly. 14, the most important thing to plan for in rehab is your nicotine addiction. If your rehab accepts vapes, great. If they don't, bring as many cigarettes with you as you can. Don't give them out to people until they're your friends. 15, honesty is the worst policy. Repeat after me. Honesty is the worst policy. In jail, everyone treats snitches accordingly. In rehab, they're celebrated and rewarded by staff. If you can keep to yourself, that's great, but you're going to get lonely and eventually talk to someone, and then you're going to get a jail girlfriend, and then you're going to have all these notes that you bring with you home that are like in, I hope they serve beer in hell, like ripped out pages of that book, because it's what she read. Anyway. 14, have a massive stimulant problem before you go in either place, because then you can just sleep for like 5 days straight and you don't have to deal with anything. 15, get arrested with your glasses on. So important. Thank you. I hope that helps everyone.
Eris, thank you. I've often wondered if I end up in rehab or jail, what should I do? And the existing guides on this matter seem insincere.
Okay, so they need to be completely made out of plastic if you want to get them in prison or in jail or prison. They will send them back, and like, because I'm really smart. Before I got to the jail, they took me to a hospital first, and then I was like, I'm gonna take out my contacts. So like the first week in jail, I couldn't see shit.
Eris, this is great. It was so funny, and it's great because you can see exactly the kind of piece that you're satirizing here, and you can see how worthless those pieces usually are, right? Like how to handle rehab, how to handle jail, and instead you're dispensing some real shit here, right? You're like offering something that's incredibly funny, but that like actually addresses situations that real flawed, complicated human beings would get into, right? And not just like platitudes and shit. So it's very funny. It's very sharp. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. I mean, like, because a lot of it was just, I was constantly thinking about how like Manuel called me when I was in jail, and he's like, your dad said you were really happy, and I didn't believe him, but now I'm talking to you, and you're really happy. Because I was doing great, because it's like, oh, I'm showering every day, I'm eating regularly, like.
Hey, this is Misery Loves Company, a weekly social reading series hosted by miserytourism.com. Every Friday, we welcome outsider and transgressive writers to come and share their work. So, excuse me, yeah, let's just get into this thing. So, Eris is up first, and Eris, you're going to be reading a poem that was published on Expat?
Yeah, this is like in 2000, this is from 2019. It's, yeah. All it takes to be complete is to exist. October 2nd, 2019. The totality of reckoning is instant now, consummate, awake forever. Transcendental loneliness startles the cusp of the moment, brings a, oh, should I post the link, or do you have it?
I think I shared the link already, didn't I? Yes.
Okay,
Oh, no,
right
I
on.
sent it to the waiting room participants. My bad.
Okay.
There you go. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's for like everyone else who blah, 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 blah. Startles the cusp of the moment, brings a wary look of seeming before acting, knowing before understanding, and understanding. It's now, and it's alone, and it's always. Do you know shatters like glass, growing pains and breakthroughs? So let me be my hister, let me have my time. A kind of necessary, only consequential madness. Let me go, swallow my hypnotics, let me lie down with my knife, heartbeat transfigure, the patter slow, I drag along. A life of wrongness, because life is wrong. A wholesome inertia of coldness clear, and we all have insides, which are our escapes. We all have minds, which we were made to change and throw away. Bodies neglect to damage the life we suppose. But we can't, knowing less. I sing the wind, living for free, living for nothing. And the mystery I realize, everything is its own explanation only. Unlettered metaphysics in the dark. With insight like a star, shooting through the shadow, like a blast of hot water in the face. Stricken, I throw open the window and feel remorse, as if I were God. I look at the sky and my body stares back, but I remain where I am. And all I need is as far away, together with the salty smell of readiness and the gable beginning of motion of turning dance without a dancer, design of the universe or dizzy beginning of time, endless before my sentence, tracing the arc of days I've come. To run where the sun rises, to catch up with it where it lands, and stay the night, to live the whole through. Chew on faulty regret, fingertips of perhaps, and an afterwards slow walking of thoughts, the feeling arrest like afterthoughts, migraines of yesterday scarred today. It's important to remember how to content yourself distantly, to be of no use to anyone, to appreciate life only where it exceeds to the senses. Reason is light, sound, memory, noise is hurt, intelligence stings even as touch is revelation, sharp and hard and sudden. And the body itself but a slow to last meeting, the soul an eternal teething, old gnashing of desire, bloody grind of nothing against the something that shouldn't be. The only way out is to eroticize everything, make grief galactic, it's my favorite line, but I always fuck it up. Make grief elastic, the creepy glorious, fear fantastic. The only way to out pretend. Fuck you. What the fuck is happening? Leave me. The only way to out pretending that his life is to outgrow it, not by accepting or negating, but sublimating, transmuting. Maturity is what you call psychotic. The only way to make sense of life is to elect not to live, even as you dress for the wrong reason or the wrong season, make funny faces and bang your fists. Life is an obsessive compulsive disorder. Lately, I found a new look in my eyes. It's kind of infectious, kind of dangerous, kind of frozen, haunted, painted on. I notice it in reflections. And in the reflected stare of other people, it's like sadness, but without despondency, a kind of incredulity, complicated, a vague dismay. And I pushed away from life as from a meal I've already enjoyed too much. I still my blood, follow down thud. My heart doesn't know where it's been. Okay, thank you. Sorry for swearing.
That's fine. First of all, Eris, I'm sorry you got interrupted there. But that
was nothing. It was music. I deserve it for interrupting you all this time.
No. You're on stage now, so really I'm interrupting you. But no, this is a fantastic poem. You know, I'm always caught off guard when you read because I never know what the fuck to expect. Every one of your pieces is so stylistically different. Like I would never have guessed that you would write like, this is a really like haunting existential poem, right? And in terms of like content and structure and language, so very different from some of the other stuff you presented here, but really effective. There are so many like really amazing like turns of phrase in here, you know, like what's the, I'm sorry, I'm looking. Nope, there's too many things for, oh, wholesome inertia. I love the phrase wholesome inertia. And that like the bloody grind of nothing against a something that shouldn't be. That is like such a perfect encapsulation of like cognitive dissonance and like psychological pain, right? Because it's not just a sense of like, you know, I'm sorry, it's not just a sense of like having conflicted thoughts, but having a vacuum that's grinding against an unpleasant situation, right? And it's such a perfect.
Whoa, you said that way better than I did. I love that.
No, you've said it really well in the poem. I'm just like telling you.
No,
like,
but that's, I love that. No, as soon as you said cognitive dissonance, I was like, yeah.
But yeah, Eris, it was a fantastic poem, is what I'm trying to say. And hopefully the trolls who I think are still here will behave themselves moving forward. We'll see. Yeah?
That was awesome, and there's a line in there that I was wanted to highlight.
Everyone knows I'm half Colombian, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate how the avatar was dancing in time with the music. That was really cool. But there was a line in there, everything is its own explanation only. Fuck yeah, that's a good line.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. I mean, no judging at all, but
I do
I
meth.
mean,
Leave me
what's up?
alone.
No, that's awesome, man. Count me in. What's it called? Why is there? What's up with Hitler in this? Like, there's a guy named Adolf. Olivia's last name is Hitler, and Esteban's PFA was Hitler. Man, I'm not judging, man. Like, maybe he just meant past the
I'm
Jews.
not judging.
Like, you know what I mean? He could have just meant past the Jews. Like, he was just misunderstood, man. Like, I got no problem with him, man. Like, have you guys seen his paintings? Like, they're fucking like amazing.
No, they're not. They're really not.
Okay, who are you to judge his artwork? You know what I mean?
Me.
I mean, you want me to judge that poem?
Douglas, Douglas, I've got a homework assignment for you, Douglas. Come back next week with a poem about Hitler's paintings, and you can read it here for sure. And we'll respond.
And tell us about the AA meetings you crashed. Write a poem about that.
Yeah. Or even just about how Hitler was cool or something. Like, I don't know, some edgy, like,
I mean, he
it
is.
doesn't
Like, I don't
matter.
think I need to explain it.
Whatever you want to do to just, like, read it.
No, but seriously though, is Olivia's last name really Hitler? Because like I'm jealous.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a joke. Anyway, we're moving on here. So Dan's up next.
Wait, I have something that's related to that, but also the thing that Rudy said.
Sure.
Okay, sorry. Wait, sure, what?
Go ahead, is what I was saying.
Oh, I mean, it's like a parrot, like a little piece. Daniel, can I go before you? I'll give you $10.
You know, what do you think?
Make it
Dan?
an even
Okay
90.
with it?
Yeah, I should go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, wow, no one would sign up to read this. Okay, it's right here. So there was a sign that said, fuck, am I still muted? No, I'm not. I'll just share my screen. So it said, everyone who supported slavery was free. Everyone who supports abortion was born. That's how oppression works. They're not really people. We've heard that before. Info at smileyourmomchoselife.org. This was published by Heavy Athletics, but then it was like, it disappeared or something. I don't know. Anyway, because yeah, one totally entails the other. I can see that, except some of us who support the pro-choice movement want to give our unborn child all the things we never had as a kid, too. Above all, the priceless opportunity never to have been in the first place, to suffer just once, a little, in the very beginning, while sense perception is liminal and the intellect Ibsidarian, with no experiencing structure and hence no memory or capacity for trauma, saving them from the cruel spectacle of a bloody birth followed by a crash course in social taboo, a hasty introduction into this mediocre and unremarkable sideshow of a life that can be said to be the only consensual reality, a farce acted by a petrified and involuntary walk-on who mimes the others, makes nice and plays dumb, plays the game, the zero-sum game, cheats and bullshits until it becomes second nature, which means no conscience, no metanoia. If he doesn't critically delude himself, he'll destroy himself by displacing his depression and obsession in religion, romance, or drugs, careerism, exhibitionism, mystic quietism, bureaucrats, or horrors, all supplements of people's unhappy consciousness, all the same at heart. Finally succumbing to psychosis or the nightmare of the real, there is no alternative after a point. Maybe his wife dies, or he retires, or he has a humbling experience, the idol is smashed, the trophy is recognized as a petty trinket, and the old but not wise man takes a long, hard look back and sees it was all for naught, that no matter what, you can't take it with you. So he sits in the garage with the windows rolled down, the car stuck in idle, and a hose leading from the tailpipe to his mouth taped shut. Or he falls back on folk wisdom and the dubious success of his peers and keeps on keeping on into his mid-80s, into a state of perpetual bewilderment, wandering into dementia and out of dignity in a strange place with a bib around his neck and a funny look on his face. What difference does it make? Eventually, he bows out, as if it all happened in a dream, into the oblivion that imagination admits but cannot conceive, having learned shit all but the Buddha's first noble truth, life is suffering. Really, we're prospective parents, women who get fucked, doing the only right thing. This is our synderesis, our sovereign and ethical prerogative as an individual or a couple. And any half-wit can see that by a coat hanger or forceps or hook, by hook or crook, just frighten the fucker out of there. All three of you will regret it if you don't until your dying day. I would like to dedicate that to that abortion I had once. Okay, that's all.
Eris, oh my God, that that's fucking tremendous. It's so good because it's like in that it's brief, right? But in that brief like single paragraph, you really capture like all of the conceivable horrors of life, right? Like from the oh my God,
that's so flattering. Thank you.
The bloody birth, right? Like from the trauma of birth to like the various like horrors and indignity of life to like the possibility of suicide or maybe something worse than suicide, which is kind of like hollowing out and being consumed by like banality or ideology or oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. And it's just like it's like being hit by a fucking train is what it is, right? Because it comes in so fast and annihilates you, and you're dead before you realize it. It's really fucking good. It's really fucking good.
Yeah, that made me so happy. Thank you. I thought you would get it. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Eris. Blick is up next.
Yeah, hi. You know what? I think I'd rather listen and read tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. We've got plenty of time if you'd like to read. But yeah, I can move the two pieces you want to read to next week if you'd like.
Okay.
I can read them for you.
Oh, yeah. All right. If you want to read them for me, that'd be great.
I don't have your voice, but yeah.
Okay, but one of the voices is, one is in a Fracris collaboration with Unity. Well, Miss Unity, that's how it was published under. That's a poem. And the other, you reading the other would be a trip. Okay.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, if you read it, that yeah.
Which one? The synchronized chaos or the other one?
I just put them both in the chat. You can choose if you can read the
Screaming Mind.
Okay.
Yeah, read Screaming Mind. That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay. I should speak. Am I angry? What is my mood?
Whatever you feel.
I feel like it just. Yeah. Okay. I should speak out when they abuse this pasty-faced artist who decided to choose being trapped in silence with makeup. Queer. I may not speak, but I can hear the taunts, the insults, and the hate towards street performers who refuse the bait of ridiculed anger through vulgar gestures, believing performance is a continuing semester of learning to grow within painted smile. Ignore the assholes, concentrate on the child who laughs with joy or open-mouthed wonder, yet tosses no coins as my stomach thunders. Breaking the silence, begging for bread, my intestinal rumblings plead to be fed. A steady diet of human compassion through the clinking of coins in an appreciative reaction. To my ancient art and enduring hunger, selling myself like a common whoremonger. I love that. Fuck yeah. Hoping to satisfy an insatiable crowd in tight-fitting spandex, a seductive shroud. Ignoring my lewd sneers at my exposed anatomy that I've twisted and stretched in hopes it would flatter me, as my muscles contort and my body sings a silent song that once entertained kings. I need to redo that last one. Ignoring lewd sneers at my exposed anatomy that I've twisted and stretched in hopes it would flatter me, as my muscles contort and my body sings a silent song that once entertained kings. Wow, I can't wait to hear someone else read that. That was amazing.
Oh, you got to see. But the thing is, you got to see what inspired that was Unity did a diptych called Headshots. He created this character. He created this character that I guess it's supposed to be a Lincoln, And I just loved it. And I loved it. It made me laugh a week straight. My girlfriend thought I was fucking nuts. And I wanted to do a homage to it. So I dashed out this weird piece about a guy who's got a rash on his ass. And I knew it sucked. And I said
Awesome.
yeah, but I knew it sucked. And I sent it to Unity. I said, this sucks, right? And he basically said, yeah. So I waited another couple of weeks until I did this. But I guess there's no way you could put Unity's image up there. It's in the link there. I mean, they publish
Well,
it.
yeah, it's if anyone who clicks the link will see it. It's
You
at the
got to
top.
see. You have to see. You have to see Miss Unity's one who created Miss Unity's headshots. It's
Yeah.
absolutely great. And you did a great reading, Eris. Thank you. That was fabulous. Thank you so much.
Can I read a Bronx Fall? Because I have relatives in
Do
not
it.
Bronx,
Do
but
it.
Bronxville.
Yeah, that'd be great. Wow, what a treat. Thank you so much. It's a holiday and I'm getting the gifts. Wonderful.
I'm happy. Oh. It's been nearly 60 years, but I'll never forget my 9th birthday. It fell on a pleasant early autumn Sunday. Unlike previous years, there was no party or exuberant family celebration. In fact, my 9th birthday promised to be a rather bleak one. Okay, so my father's terminal bout with cancer had reduced him to a stick figure who spent all his time laying on the couch. His illness made a mockery out of the area of our 5th floor Bronx apartment that we called the living room, as I, my mother, and 3 sisters sliced into a hurriedly prepared birthday cake. My father's loud gasps for each breath in the living room adjacent to the kitchen festivities were a reminder of all that was wrong with the season. And what a season it had been. Our Belmont Avenue apartment was within walking distance of Yankee Stadium, where Mantle and Maris, is that how you say it? Mantle and Maris? The M&M boys had once again led their team to another pennant, just 2 days after my October 1st birthday. On October 9th. The New York Yankees were scheduled to meet the Cincinnati Reds in the World Series. The Yankees' march towards the American League pennant included a major league record for most home runs by a ball club, but it was hard for me to follow all the excitement that had lit up the Bronx during the 1961 baseball season due to close on my 9th birthday. Due to close on my 9th birthday. Mantle and Maris and Mantle, those were the buzzwords that defined that summer. Wait, you would say more like Mantle and Maris and Mantle, those were the buzzwords that defined that summer. After eating cake and opening a few presents, I lifted up the kitchen window and pressed my face against the rusty grill, where I scouted a peculiar sight 5 stories below. Strangely enough, none of the bigger kids, the guys in junior high, were playing stickball in the street. There was always a Sunday afternoon stickball game played on the Belmont Avenue street in front of my building, yet on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, the street was deserted. I immediately called my best friend, Ralph Guerra. How do you say that?
Guerra means war in Spanish.
Right. My best friend's last name is Guerrera, so warrior. A recent refugee from Castro's Cuba and was able to corral a half a dozen guys for a stickball game. I brought the spanking new pink Spalding ball that my twin sister Kathy had given me as a birthday gift, while another friend, Victor Elias, brought his impressive-looking stickball bat, a former mop stick that was handsomely wrapped with electrical tape at the handle to offer up a superior grip. We grade school kids charged into the street and quickly took up our positions. Every moment was filled with apprehension and fear that the bigger, meaner kids would suddenly appear and implement their ritual threat to shove our stickball bat up where the sun don't shine if we did not immediately vacate their street. Because the ball belonged to me, I declared myself the pitcher. Stickball pitchers did not require any special skills to play that position. A strong, accurate arm was unimportant when you had to have the ball reach home plate on a bounce. The most dangerous positions were catcher and batter because they were the only players in the street whose backs were to the traffic. Oh. Their safety, indeed, their very lives, was often dependent on the pitcher and infielders signaling at them to move away from fast approaching cars, trucks, and the occasional motorcycle. Sunday afternoon traffic was always light on Belmont Avenue, and that was why it was such an unusual gift to have the field free on my birthday. I was not a very good ball player. Small for my age, I loved to play, but was never invited to join in with the older kids who dominated the street, unlike some of my bigger and stronger fourth grade friends. Shut out of neighborhood games, I lacked the repetitive competitive exposure every athlete needs in order to improve their performance. And so when my turn came to hit, I struck out. On Ralphie's first at bat, he blasted a home run that flew past two sewer covers and came to a rolling stop just short of Tremont Avenue. On my second trip to the plate, I truly became one with the powerhouse Yankees playing their final regular season game just blocks away. I want to set the record straight. That day, a third M was added to those Bronx M&M boys of Fall 61. Maris, Mantle, and Mark. I don't remember much about the pitch I hit, but I do remember that I did not get a solid whack at that bouncing Spalding. It's Spalding, right? Like not Spald. Okay. Fearing that I would once again strike out, I choked up on the decorative mop stick and stuck the bat out without really swinging it, not unlike a bunting motion, to increase my chances of making contact. I was barely able to get a piece of the ball to tap the end of the stick. As the ball dribbled weakly towards the first baseman, I threw down the bat and sprinted toward the green 57 Chevy that had been designated as first base. And that's when I heard it. The roar of many voices from the many heads that had popped out from the many tenement windows, showering down encouragement to me, an insecure 9-year-old hustling to leg out a lazy ground ball into a base hit. I had never performed in front of an audience before, and I'll never forget the adrenaline rush that accompanied my race to that parked car. And as I ran, I was amazed that my feeble grounder could inspire such an outpouring of excitement and emotion. I sped down the street determined to reach base safely, all the while wondering how many of my neighbors knew that it was my birthday, and if they were cheering so loudly for me so that my withering father, sprawled out on the living couch, could hear them. With my outstretched hands groping for that green Chevy, I made it to first base without even the attempt of a tag. Hector, my first baseman, must have been distracted by the shouting tenement faces because he bobbled my easy grounder. I saw the ball roll to his right as I crashed triumphantly into the car. I closed my eyes and hugged the Chevy for what must have been a few seconds, although it felt like minutes. And with a huge grin, losing myself in the praise showering down on me, I forgot all about my dying father and crying mother and disappointing birthday celebration. I was a Bronx baseball hero just like Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris. When I opened my eyes, I saw Hector, Victor, Ralphie, and the other guys jumping up and down, slapping each other on the back and screaming out, "He did it! He did it! Maris hit 61!" The joy and warmth I felt from my neighbors immediately vanished as I realized that their excited shouts weren't for me, but the shattering of Babe Ruth's major league home run record just 18 blocks away by one of the M&M boys. I lowered my head. What was I thinking? Surprised and humiliated, I was grateful no one else on the block had any inkling of my foolish fantasy. Whenever I heard the name Roger Maris mentioned in later years, it usually made me anxious, and I would immediately resurrect the embarrassment I felt on that Sunday, October afternoon. But as I watched Mark McGuire break Roger Maris's home run record on September 8th, 1998, and saw Sammy Sosa hug him, I remembered the precious few seconds of glory 37 years earlier, when I became one with the M&M boys and heard those autumn cheers that made me feel proud and strong and gave me a respite from the rapidly approaching Bronx winter that would leave my heart as empty as my living couch. Oh, all right, before that really hit home for
Let me
me.
just say, you read that beautifully. Thank you. That was such a beautiful reading. I've never heard that read before. I've never read it before. I've never heard it read before. What? I mean, I think those devil horns helped, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah, the visual was really helped. Thank you so much.
This was such a great piece, and like it hits home for me too, because like when I was 9, one of my parents had terminal cancer, and like I would have loved to go out and play sports, but I think I just stayed inside and read. But this was beautiful. This really captures, like, you know, the things you do to not think about that. Like, I was totally in that whole other world.
Wow, I'm
What a
sorry.
fantastic job.
I'm sorry you experienced that, but I'm sure it's a big
It's okay. I
reason
wouldn't
why-
want my
No,
mom
but
to
it-
read my writing anyway.
Yeah, but I think it's probably one of the reasons why you became an artist.
Absolutely. I don't want to
Absolutely,
be
yes,
forgotten.
yes.
Are you really on October 1st birthday?
Yeah, yeah. So you're a Libra. You're-
Grapes is October 2nd.
Who is?
Grapes. Michelle.
I am October 13th.
Ooh.
Wow, lots of October birthdays.
A lot of Libras here.
I'm October 9th. Anyway, but yeah, this was phenomenal. Oh my gosh, I want to play baseball now. But in the street where it's 100 degrees. I'm going to shut up. That was amazing.
Eris, you did an incredible job reading both of those pieces. Thank you.
I learned in the Japanese cult that I was in when I was young that glitter is actually a good omen. So that probably helped like a lot of husbands like not getting into trouble if they went to a strip club.
Glitter?
Glitter, yeah, like oh, it's a good omen. Like the Mahikari Buddhist religion cult thing. It's great. Yeah.
No, that was really fun. And some of them are like oddly profound too, like the Kentucky one about like when the bough of the tree grows long enough to match the length of your coffin, you'll die. Like I don't know. Like some of these things like may not hold actual power, but they hold a kind of like emotional power, right? No, that was fun, Jesse. Thank you.
It makes you wonder who originated them or what, like the one, if your pregnant woman goes to a funeral, she should not look at the deceased. That must have been somebody's like personal superstition that then got like kind of adopted by a certain culture or group,
Jesse, are you a Gemini?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm a Capricorn. And I don't believe that the Capricorn is fully applicable to me because there's all this stuff about how Capricorns are like really hard workers and really ambitious and really like organized and get to work and stuff like that, and that's totally not me. So I wonder if my sun or my moon and ascendant and all that stuff like that kind of tempers the Capricorn sign or something.
I'll look into this because Geminis love random facts. So yeah.
No.
I do like random facts.
Tell me a random fact.
I don't have many. I don't catalog.
Bullshit, you're a Gemini.
I don't. I'm not really a.
Can I be right about
hearing
one
random
astrological
facts,
thing about you? Just one, besides the fact that you're sad.
One fact about me?
No, can I just be right about one astrological thing about you?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Absolutely. So anyway, JMF Casey, are you are you here still? Do you still want to read? I see you in the chat, but I don't know if you were having technical. Oh, your mic is fucked. Oh, okay. That's fine. Well, we'll be doing this next week. If you can get your mic worked out, you can read next week then. All right. So in that case, I think we'll call it there. This has been Misery Loves Company, a weekly social. That's what I said at the fucking top. I think I say something different at the end. Anyway, this has been Misery Loves Company. We do this every fucking Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Anyone is welcome to come. Anyone's welcome to share their work. Anyone's welcome to just lurk and hang out. We tweet out the link to the Zoom meeting from our Twitter account at Misery Tourism. I think that's it. That's fucking it. We're done. Yeah, fuck it.